Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Feel good, Larry. You've hit the follow button. We're about to have King of the Hill. Get that over and done with. Ignore West Dude. Ignore West Dude. He's fine. He'll get over things eventually. Maybe. Maybe. All right. We'll start after King of the Hill. Straight into the rants. Straight into the rants. And digging a hole. How we doing? Traumatic Nutter, who was here first. Also, Pro Unreal. Where's Tatsu? Tatsu's late again. Sheesh. All right, feel good, Larry. Congratulations. You are our king. How you doing, Ethan? Long time no see. All right, where do we have? We have Fox. Fox has made it in as well. Welcome, Fox. Samuel. How you doing? How you doing? Rope. Just heading to bed. Want to say hello. How you doing, Rope? Long time no see as well. All right, so King Hill's now done. No avatar, redraw. Ignore Fox. He'll get there on his wishes. Eventually, people will have avatars. Eventually. There's this thing called cable ducks? Lol? No, Pompous. I have no idea what you're talking about. What are these cable ducks? Hang on. Is that better? Cable ducks. Yeah, exactly. Cable ducks. Is that better? That's before I had a cable tray. Jenny, when will you play Cabinet Ministry again? When Update 3 comes out. Well, technically I'll start playing it about a week beforehand. Before Update 3 comes out. But when will you see it? Probably the day Update 3 comes out. Possibly the day before. Depends on how nice the devs are. Oh god, an encrypted message. Oh, it's a cable duct. Fox typed into Google. Google delivered. It's a cable duck. Okay. When is Update 3? If you can tell us. I can tell you Update 3 is scheduled for Q1 2025, but may have been delayed till past Q1 2025. Axiom. Axiom enjoys cable ducts and also cable management. I don't know why people complain about my cable management. My cable management's spot on. Look, this is the original. This is the original, okay? And then, this is the managed version, okay? Cable ducts are my favorite thing now. Look at how managed that is now. It managed us all to hang off the bottom of the table. It'll be out when it's ready? Probably. They're adding trains, okay? They're adding trains that don't need signals. And at the same time, they decide to add other things, okay? All right? And technically, it'll be out when it's not ready, and then it goes off and it goes to a elite group of beta testers who break everything and lead to a patch every day. And that Cabinet Ministry from you, game is so addicting. I put your YouTube videos on whilst they play. Feel good, Larry. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm very good at the game. I've got much experience at the game. I love the game. And yes, I'm dying for the updates just as much as you are. Trust me. But like I said, the devs, they're busy. They added trains without signals. Okay, which I honestly said, Marek, I don't think you can do it. I think you can get something that sort of works, but I think you'll have to add signals as a backup option. And lo and behold, he's got it working without signals. There is no way to manually add signals to the tracks. Now, there is a possibility that after I get my hands on it, he might need to manually add signals, because I might invent something that's so stupid that you need to manually signal it. He also might say, no, bad luck, Jetty, that's too stupid, you don't need signals. I don't know. So we'll have to find out. Okay, but tonight's stream is all about ranting and digging a hole. Okay. So we left our hole deep and terribly organized, as is everything when I start digging. Terribly organized. Yep. Okay, so our hole, I've got 9 grand. Is there anything I need to spend my 9 grand on? No, I'm fully upgraded. We can charge the battery. Okay. Master of digging holes, exactly. So our hole starts here, heads around. Whoop, gets stuck under the fence posts. Yep. Goes around here. Ignore that hole. I didn't dig that one. That was already there. Around here. Around more. I found the cave and added lights. Around. Over this chute. Past these rocks. I also didn't dig that hole. It was already there. Round further. 40 meters deep. Over this chute. Ouch. It was an ankle. It's fine. More around. Doink. Out of my way. Oh, it's the rock. Okay. More around. Yep. Oh, go away. Cool. Okay, that's something I can't pick up. More rounds. More rounds. And I think this is where we left it at 73 meters. Feel good, Larry! Thank you for... Oh, hit the button for 6 months in advance. Wow. Thank you, mate. I appreciate it. I tell you what. Within 6 months, Capital History should have an update. Okay, so this is where we got 70 meters down. Can I put a torch light thing? Yeah, cool. So there's more of a tunnel, not a hole in it. Well, sure, but I need a way to get down. That's a hole. That's the hole. This is the express elevator down. Express elevator down. What's this game about? King? It's about digging a hole. Are there NPCs? Technically, there is. You dig a hole. That's the game. Yeah. Are there enemies? Technically, King. You're getting ahead of yourself. The first enemy is gravity. Okay, so we've dug to here. We need to keep digging. Yep, it's a game about digging a hole. That's it. And it means I have an opportunity. I don't get it. You dig a hole. That's it. Hey, Tucker Bear. And I get to continue with my rants. So, is there multiplayer? No. It's not even on my list. How horrible. Okay. So, in the last... I'm just here for the ranting today. Perfect. Okay. In the last stream, we covered a few rant topics. First off, we covered my dexamphetamine detox because I prescribed it for my narcolepsy, which goes with my sleep apnea, which goes with my insomnia. Wonderful mix. And that's hot. I shouldn't step on that. That's still going to be hot. Okay. It's a little bit awkward now. Okay. Who laughing? What? Ambien. Oh, Ambien's on the list. We'll get to Ambien. Okay, so last stream we covered dexamphetamine, okay, and my detox, because whilst I was away on holidays, I detoxed from it so I can have a lower dose. Very important to me, at least. So, can I throw another dynamite? You missed. No, you hit. Cool. My torches don't work nearly as good as they used to. Have another. Okay. Why does everybody answer the question seriously? I was laughing because they get it. I get that you are asking very serious questions that you definitely wanted to have all the answers to when the title of the game is a game about digging a hole. There ain't much more to it. Platinum. Nice. Hopefully it's worth a fortune. Alright. So, covered the decks of beats. Covered the bathroom reno and removing the asbestos. Also covered the fact that there's still more asbestos in the house and I want to get rid of it, but the guy who did the bathroom has not get back to me with a quote yet. Still, it's been like a month at this point. Actually, has it? Yeah, it has. It's been like a month at this point. Just hasn't got back to me. Obviously, really doesn't want the job. Or he really forgot. Okay. Covered trades. Like getting Sparkies out to get some wiring done in the studio and in the house for the EV charger. Okay, I need another torch already. Why are my torches dimmer? Yeah, that did not go to plan. Okay. I need room for my head. Cool, done. Alright. Covered NBN to some extent. There's more NBN. Good morning, Zluch. Good morning from Switzerland. Good afternoon from the great Australia, which we found out last stream has even bigger, deadlier funnel webs than we thought previously. Yay! Funnel web spiders, that is. Okay. Everything's fine. Australia just got more deadly. It's fine. Great. Spiders used to live in Sydney. Turns out they also live north of Sydney. Nope, do not throw that at the wall. Okay. We also covered EVR, the EV. So we covered the MG that I bought, okay, and how the dealer put the wrong fucking rego plate on the car, on the paperwork for the car. So technically means I bought a piece of paper, not a car. Because the car had a different rego plate on it. License plate, whatever. Number plate, whatever you want to call it. But New Zealand has deadly sheep, so this is true. More people die in New Zealand from sheep than die in Australia from spiders. Also, most people die from horses outright. So, you know, horses, really the big killer. Okay, am I still going down? No, I'm sort of going sideways. Alright, I need to go down. Ivy diamonds. Okay, so that was last stream. It took me 4 hours to get through that and answer a whole lot of questions about whether the game about digging a hole has NPCs and other things at the same time. Okay. And why the fuck there's lava rocks in your backyard? Okay, another torch. Okay, battery low. Fine. But let me out. Nope. That's it. See sunlight and go. I have not been here, what's your goal, as of now, other than just digging your hole. That is it. Digging my hole and having a rant. That is the whole point of today's stream. It is a turn your brain off game and to dig a hole and rant about life. Okay? That is the whole point. All right. Eventually there's some end goal. Oh, technically there's a treasure buried at the bottom. I bought a house for 10 grand. And bought a house for 10 grand. The 10 grand house is dirt cheap and has treasure buried in the backyard. And why does your backyard have a perfect stone wall that lines up with fence? Hey, why do all my neighbors not have fences at all? Like, these guys have fences. But that fence and that fence don't meet. This has a fence. This at least meets the boundary. That no fence. Why is there giant rocks over there? There are many questions to be answered. Damn, that's deep. The hole or the questioning? Oh, I found a stone. Okay. The real treasure is getting a house and land this size for 10 grand. Exactly. New Zealand's delicious sheep even attack, please. Show me a funnel web who did that. Oh my god. Ram, New Zealand, elderly couple found dead farm. What? Ram believed deaths of elderly people, elderly New Zealand couple. Okay. Police say the sheep was shot dead after confronting officers called to the property in... I can't pronounce this. What Takiri? No, it's not. That's not how you pronounce it. Looking for where the cables are going? No. Where are the cables? There's no cables. There's no cables. Pair aged in their early 80s were found dead in the field of the real property on early Thursday morning. Another party at the scene suffered a minor injury after being attacked by the ram. Once our staff, being the police, arrived at the scene, they too were confronted and approached by the ram. On undertaking a risk assessment, the ram was shot and died at the scene. Okay. They both lost their lives in a tragic accident. You don't have sheep. Okay. Don't have sheep. Don't have sheep. Sheep kill people. Chance of being killed by a sheep are low, but never zero. Turns out it's higher than getting killed by a spider in Australia. Ouch. Ow, that took all my health. Okay. Okay, and the floating dirt is a nice touch. It is a nice touch. I do my best to have as much floating dirt as possible. Okay. Save the ankles this time. Ow! I'm gonna die. Falling down my hole. It's only $9 to heal. Okay, the hole needs to be bigger. That's my conclusion. All right, 74 meters. What are we down to? We're at 79 meters. Okay, can I go back to this point? Sunlight. Sunlight. No, that way. Sunlight. Need to make the central hole bigger. So hopefully I die less. Wish there's body cam footage of the sheep confronting the officers. Actually, so do I now. Now you mention it. How do you put that over the radio? Shots fired. Shots fired. Sheep dead on scene. No, it'd be suspect. Suspect dead on scene. Yeah, that'd be the easiest way I'll put over the radio. I'm at 80 meters. Okay, I went too far. That's fine. Alright, back up. And then we go back to here. Need this out a bit further. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. Okay, back to rants. So we covered what I ranted about last week. Alright? The VODs on YouTube, if you want to catch up in all details on all rants and all progress digging holes, whichever you prefer. Okay, this week, let's talk about EV. Oh, we also covered, we also covered the manual is useless. Yeah, the manual is useless for the car, absolutely useless. And we also covered Taka Bear, how he never read the manual. I read the manual at least most of it. to work out that's useless. Taco Bear didn't read the manual and then found out the hard way that after the battery gets down to below 5%, he's stuck driving at 5 kilometers per hour. And rather than leaving early and charging a few extra times along the way, he risked it all. No, up. He risked it all to do the trip in one charge, and they got down to 5% because the car battery went flat overnight. Yay! Rock gone. Okay, where was I? I was here. Okay, can I have another light? Excellent. Okay, it was 7 kilometers per hour. Sorry, my bad. Hey, JD and friends. The thumbnail does not look like a hole that's been dug out with a drill. More like a dark hole, doctors say. Doctors enjoy checking twice per year. Chat, lava, gold or gold? No, lava. It hurts when you step on it. Don't step on it. There is gold. That's gold. Yep, that was gold. It was much shinier at the top. Now it's pretty dull. Something being 80 meters down. Hang on. There we go. 80 meters. Yep. 80 meters. Why are there holes in my hole? Fine. I'll just carefully walk around the edges. Until I run out of things to walk on. Okay. So, when you get an EV, normally they come with a charging pack, okay? One you can plug into a power point. I've been told these are called a granny charger because they charge at the same speed your granny does. Fucking slow. It takes 29 hours with my charger to charge my car from flat to full. No. Hang on. I'll rephrase that. At 7 amps, it takes 29 hours. Okay? 29 hours is ridiculous. Also, you'd never really drive the car till it was flat, unless you're Taco Bear. Hi! Redstore! How you doing? Your connection to the power network sucks. No. This is a wall charger. It's a plug into the wall. Okay? Really bad one. Yep, definitely lava. Much better. Okay. Still sucks. Oh, it does. It 100% sucks. Okay? Normally they come in, hang on, I'm going to read my notes. They come in 7 amps, 14 amps here in Australia. So we have 240 volts, and you get 7 amps, 14 amps, or 32 amps. I think there's also a 28 amp model or something. Okay, lots of different options. Okay, for $200, I can get a 32 amp charger that has a 32 amp power point, which we don't have in Australia, at least not normally. So I'd have to get a Sparky out. That's a separate rant. We'll get to that rant. And hop, skip, and a jump. Hop, skip, and a jump. More jumps. And up. Okay, that was a wall. Oh, it's better to go down. I'm gonna go down first. Yep, oh, I can stand at the bottom. I can see sunlight. And go straight up. Okay, mostly straight up. Good enough. Okay. What's the range of the car? 400 kilometers? Roughly? 300 and something. Probably more accurate. Can I get more lamp? And more dynamite? Oh. Look, I bought a house for 10 grand. From digging up the backyard, I've fully upgraded everything and I have 15 grand. I think I did all right. I think I should quit whilst I'm ahead. It's probably going to cost me 20 grand to buy enough dirt to fill the hole back in. Okay.
Like a boss.
Ankle. Oh, I pronounce this wrong so often. No. Who are you digging a hole? Dwarf is here. How you doing? How you doing? Is Ogrimska. See, I got it. Ogrimska. We were playing Oni, the new DLC Bionic Pack. I don't know. Possibly. It's a game I like going back to. And I haven't played Oni in a very, very long time. Also, Oni tends to not like my computer and run very, very slowly. Very, very slowly. So, how you doing, mate? How you doing? What were you playing? War Tales again. Ooh, I fell in the hole. All right, welcome Raiders. My name's JD. I normally stream important things. Today, we're having an off day where I dig a hole and have a rant, okay? Ranting about life, ranting about things, ranting about everything, okay? Why? Because it's an off-brain game. So it gives me a chance to rant with hopefully getting slightly less sidetracked. It's not really working. I get sidetracked all the time. Gotta raid and run! Thank you, mate. Maybe get a new PC so Oni could go smoother. No, I don't know what the story is. Okay, Oni's also pretty bad at performance. They have done performance optimizations in the last couple of updates. And I have tested it by getting other people's saves, and it runs faster. It runs faster on my PC than it does on their PC. But also, my last playthrough, I started with 100 dupes on day one. So, yeah. It was not going to run fast for long. Anyway, so, back to rants. Okay, bought the EV, comes with an EV charger. Normally EV chargers, as they come in, 7 amps, 14 amps, 32 amps, okay? The car comes with a granny charger, okay? This one I can plug into a power point and charge the car should I need to. Should I be desperate enough? Should I not want to pay to supercharge it with DC power, okay? Very, very handy when you're in a pinch. Also, means you can charge it very cheaply at home because, you know, you pay a fortune for supercharger, blah, 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 and plug-in PowerPoint chargers and all the rest of it, okay? Turns out, like I said, the minimum they come in is 7 amps, and I can get a 32 amp one for, no, I want dynamite. Okay, had the desired effect. All right, I get a 32 amp one, $200. Okay, the one that came with the car, turns out, is 4 amps. It's 4 amps. So it takes 29 hours to fully charge the car from flat with a 7 amp charger according to the manual, which I read. But mine is 4 amps. So it's gonna take like 3 days. 3 days to fully charge the car. What the fuck? Yeah, tell me about it. I've actually realized since then, it's actually a blessing in disguise because my solar on my house outputs about 5 amps worth of power. So if my charger only works at 4 amps, then it means that technically if I plug it in during the day, I can actually charge the car with just solar and not accidentally overdo it. Because the smallest I get outright otherwise would be 7 amps, unless I find some weird charger that lets me really modulate things. Can I get another torch? Cool. All right, where are we? We're at 87 meters. Can I go from here? That way. Okay, can I go back to my elevator? Elevator? Yep. Cool. Now I can see what I'm doing. Alright, so, sort of a blessing in disguise, but yes, it does mean that the $35,000 car that I bought came with a charger that is so crap, that they don't even make them. Which is, you know, okay, sure. Also, side note, I asked them whilst I was in the store, alright, because they had a charger on the wall, how much does it cost to get one of their chargers? And the guy took like 40 minutes, 30 minutes. It took a very, very long time on the phone, tried to ring different departments, to find out the price. You couldn't just look it up on their own damn website. It turns out it's on their own damn website. They wanted for their wall charger, which I guess the only difference is it has an MG logo on it. I actually don't even know what it was rated for. They wanted $2,000. $2,000 for their brand charger. Dynamite. Somewhat ridiculous. Yep, sunlight's still above me. Cool. So yeah. I'm sort of glad they didn't put in a 7-watt charger, a 7-amp charger, because then the car probably would have been $1,000 more expensive. Oh. Oops. New light. Cool. The $2,000 included solar installation? No! No, God, no! Don't get silly. The $2,000's just for the charger. Install would be on top of that, sir. God, it's a car company. How do you think they make their money? From selling cars? It's gonna be ridiculous. Why would they make their money from selling cars? I bought mine for €500, and that's because I want a non-branded one. I have them on Amazon for $200, which is way less than €500. So I plan on digging all the earth in this stream. Depends on how long I need to rant for. Really depends on how long I need to rant for. So, maybe. Okay. So, continue with EVs and charging. All right. Normally, on the bigger EVs, you can buy 2 of those houses. I could dig in more backyards. On most EVs, depending on the battery technology that they're using, you sometimes... Floating rock, go away. You're going to break my ankle on the way down. Cool. Excellent. Okay. I'm at 88 meters. Okay. Which side am I digging? Oh, that's it. That's my way out. Move. Okay, that's not it. Oh no, we're at 87 meters. Yeah, that's it. Okay, cool. Alright, keep going down. More down. Try to fit 5 games. Plant. Nah, that's very, very old. Death rate, very, very old. The poor Jetty has only about 1 play anyway. It's only 1 player. Yeah. Yeah, I just bought a car. I can't afford another house. Anyway. Okay. So, alright. Most EVs, depending on the battery technology, okay, similar to like mobile phones. Mobile phones, you only should charge to like 85%. And you shouldn't leave them fully charged for ages. You shouldn't also fully discharge them and leave them fully discharged either. EVs, much the same. It's a battery. We're all pretty familiar with batteries now. We're also pretty familiar with and when phones are 2 years old, you know, they've had so many charge and discharge cycles that, you know, the battery only seems to last half as long as it used to. Yeah, my phone's now 6 years old. It lasts for like half a day, maybe a whole day sometimes, if I'm generous and don't use it too much. Yeah. Phase. Oh, I only have 1 phase? Yes, I only have 1 phase power. But that's a separate problem. I wanna... Ow! Okay. It landed on top of the rock and didn't blow up the rock. Okay. Try that again. Okay, that had the desired effect. Mostly. Alright. So, car. I have some battery technology. I don't remember what it is. battery formulation. Yes, formulation. That doesn't mind being charged to 100%. I'm off. Want to finish my binge of American Gods. Last 3 episodes ago. Later. Good luck on the car, friend JD. Right. Sounds like capitalism in effect. No, the car was 35 grand. It was dirt cheap. The car was dirt cheap. Most cars are like 50, 55. This was an EV for 35. I won big time. All right, big time win. But it just has lots of drawbacks. Like, I got fleeced on a 4 amp charger, which was free with the car. Yeah, just like everything's free. You know, you're not paying for it in some other way. Yeah, but good luck with American Gods. I didn't get into it. I tried, but I didn't. Trinus, welcome back for 30 months. It's just saying you were late and absent, and welcome, mate. All right, so, and you saw me. How you doing? All right, so, batteries. Okay, normally even phones nowadays, there's an option, at least on an Android. I don't know about iPhones, but iPhones are just, you know, Apple's just going to degrade your battery with software and then not tell you about it. And then after they're finished doing that, they're going to wait for you to sue them. And then only after you're suing them will they reverse their previous decision that they didn't tell you about. Anyway, so like I was saying, battery. There's option in the software that you get on your phone. It's an app, and then your app connects to your car via Bluetooth, because the car doesn't have wireless. Of course it doesn't. It also has no way to update the software via any way. The only way you can update the software in the car is by taking it to the dealer and then paying the dealer to update the phone. Phone, car, phone, update things. Okay, so the software on the phone has an option to set the charge percentage of the car. So you can say, hey, you know what? I only want to charge it to like 80%. I know the battery technology should be good, should be happy, but I want to play it safe. Okie dokie. We're just going to move along and not ask any questions about why there's treasure in the backyard or why the lamps suddenly stopped working. Okay, I think we found the bottom. Power saving mode is great on an Android. It is. I guess I missed the start of the rant then. The start of the rant was a week ago. Oh, crap. Where was my entrance to my hall? The elevator? Yeah. Oh, wait. Whee! Okay, battery low I can deal with. Battery critical could be a different problem. Whee! Okay. Inventory full. 10 grand. Okay. Buy another house. 3 houses down. More lamps. More dynamite. Okay. So. What was up to? I was up to cars, rants, up. Power saving, power charging the car. Okay. Software on my phone, I can set a power charge level. I can say, you know what? You know, just charge to 80%. 80% is good enough. Go away, little stone. Floating dirt, go away. Okay. On the car, I can't set this setting. On the phone, when I set this setting, it tells me it's all good and tells me it's going to save and tells me it's going to do exactly that. It's going to charge to 80%. And then when you leave the car plugged in, it charges 100% anyway. Because the car actually doesn't have that setting at all. And the app, Android app on your phone, is just lying to you. Much like a car salesman. Yeah. Really handy. And like, the only reason I'd really want to charge the car to like 80% rather than 100% is EVs have this really cool mode. It's called one pedal mode, where you have a brake, but the brake's not really used. It's more like a I need to stop now situation. Otherwise, you just press the accelerator, and the more you press the accelerator, the faster you go. The less you press the accelerator, the slower you go. All right? It's like, you know, playing a game on your computer where you're driving a car. The harder you press forward, the faster you go. The less you press forward, an old game. Cigar doesn't talk to the loader. I don't know. I actually have no idea on that question. I think the car just doesn't have the option. Outright to say, you know, charge this percentage. Alright, the car just doesn't give a shit. It just keeps charging. Alright, so, yeah, it's like an old-fashioned game from like the 90s where you press forward, you go faster, you press forward less, you go slower. Very simple. Before car games had brakes in car games. It's actually really handy because the less you press forward, the more you slow down. The more you slow down, the more you recharge the battery with your forward speed getting turned to power that goes back into the battery. Really handy. If you use a brake instead, well, then you turn brake pads into brake pad dust, and that just costs you money. Have you looked at the software I recommended? No. But I looked at it once on stream, and then I haven't dug any deeper into it because I need to find an electrician that could install thingamajiggy bobs chargers. That was step number 1, and then after I had step number 1 completed, okay, I decided I want to keep some floor. After I had step number 1 completed, it was then look at software. I haven't got step number 1 completed. I've tried multiple times, but we'll get to that rant separately, okay? All these rants are interconnected and intertwined, and the ground's getting very thin. So there should be treasure down there. 10 grand, just waiting for me to pick it up. Why don't I trust that the hole I've been digging forever doesn't just end in a treasure chest or a briefcase or something with 10 grand buried in it? Also, who would dig out all this crap to then put 10 grand in a chest at the bottom to then fill the whole thing back in, and also make sure that you dropped in some gold and some platinum and some coal and some copper and stone? And who pays me for digging up stones in my own backyard? Yep, okay, this is not at all rigged. Can I go back, please? All back. Okay, I balanced. Okay. Multiple bad rants tonight. Oh, everything is interconnected. Everything is interconnected. Okay, so I can't set the car to charge to a certain amount, which is just annoying. Okay, the best I can do is go for scheduled charging, and then say, okay, you're going to take 12 hours to fully charge, or charge from 60% to 100%, and I want to stop at about 80, so I'm going to have you charge for 60 hours via the scheduled charging, and then stop charging. It's hit and miss, but it's worked so far. The catch is, one pedal mode doesn't work if the car's 100% charged. This is why you wouldn't want 100% charge the car, because you want to bring it to 90%. Of course, my EV... Whoa. Don't know about your exact model, of course, but most EVs do a purely recycling braking on a light touch of the brake pedal as well. Leave some headroom in the battery for this purpose, even if it tells you it charged 100%. No, my car will automatically do what's it called? The regen braking, okay? It'll automatically do regen braking, okay? With the brake pedal, okay? But I want one pedal, you regenerative braking, yep. It'll automatically do one regenerative braking. Also, there's lots of settings, so I can change the regen braking to be light, or medium, or heavy, or adaptive, whatever the fuck adaptive means. And my problem is I can't set one pedal mode unless it's at 90, it's below 90% charge, okay? Have you looked in the car itself? You can also adjust how much I want the batteries. No, I've looked in the car. There's no option. No option. There is no option, unless it's on the latest software, at which point that would suck, because in theory, when I bought the car, one of the reasons they needed it for such a long time before they gave me my car that I paid for was they had to update the software. The problem is, I've gone and looked on, there's a whole EV forum thing with a whole section for MG, and the software that's running on my car is not the latest software. It's from like halfway through last year. Early last year. Yeah. So I have to find the exact model of the Australian software, because it goes in for its 1,000-kilometer service next week. I think it's next week. And then say, hey, can I please have you guys update the software? Because you were going to do that before I bought the car, and this is not the latest software. And then hope like shit they don't try and charge me, because it turns out that when you want the software updated, that's above and beyond the normal service, and they charge you for it. Because there's no way to update the software over like the internet. They just don't make it available at all. Okay, you have to take it into an MG dealer and have them update the software, unless it's a security patch or it's a major it's a security patch or a major flaw patch, at which point they'll update the software for you free of charge, because they've found some sort of safety reason why it has to be updated. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, so you can't sound, looks like MG4 having issues with setting the charge limit. There are lots of posts about that. There is no way to set it. On my car, there is no way to set it. I can set it in the app, but it just ignores it. I can't set it in the car. There's no option to set it in the car. It just, bad luck. Stiff shit. You just, yep. The higher model car has a different battery type, which you're only meant to charge to 80%, and that has the option. But my battery, because it's a good battery, in theory, and I can charge it 100%, it doesn't have that option at all. Awesome. Except that I can't use one pedal mode. Speaking of one pedal mode, you can set things. Send an email off the account ACC about it. Yeah, either way, the shop wins either by billing you, not the manufacturer. Well, a MG dealer has a license to sell MGs. They don't actually work for MG. So like a Tesla store is owned by Tesla. And Tesla sells the Teslas. A Ford, probably same story. Okay? A Toyota, probably the same story. Like, they're pretty common. All right? MG? No. It was bought from blah blah car company, who happens to have MG banners and MG this and MG that, but then right beside that they have a different brand. Kia. I think Kia's right beside that, and the building literally right next door. And the building the other side has a different badge and different blah 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 blah. All right? So it's like, you know, they're dedicated to MG in this single building, but yes, it's running under a different company. So yeah. Okay. So as I said, there are different settings in the car. Okay. You can set how soft or how firm you want to have the power steering. You can set things like the regenerative braking. Do you want it soft? Do you want it medium? Do you want it full throttle to get as much power back as possible? Do you want to turn on the cruise control, the adaptive cruise control, which is like cruise control, but if the car in front of me slows down, I want to slow down too, and I don't want to press the buttons to slow down. I want you to do it automatically. Okay. There's also traffic jam assist. No, Ford and Toyota use the same model like Macca's. They're independent companies but have a license from the manufacturer. Okay, well, there you go. Yeah, but they're still... I think that's different to the MG. They're more... Ford and Toyota are more part of the great Ford brand, Ford Toyota brand, whereas this is very, very separate. Very, very separate. Yeah. So, far too much rant, far not enough digging. That's fine. We'll do some digging. Here. I'm digging. All right. You. Go away. All right. Now I'm digging. I can't think at the same time. Bad. My head got too big. I can't fit under here anymore. All right. So all these different settings you can set. Also with the automatic cruise control thing, you can also set traffic jam assist. So if you're in like bumper to bumper traffic that's just crawling along slowly, you just turn this on and your car will just follow the car in front. And if the car in front stops, you'll stop as well. And then as long as the car in front moves within like 30 seconds, your car will move as well. Really handy if you're in Sydney traffic or any big city traffic, which is full of bumper to bumper traffic every single fucking day up and down the main highways. Yeah, really, really handy. I'm yet to use it. But turns out all these wonderful settings that you can customize to your heart's content, like one pedal mode, as soon as you turn the car off, they don't exist anymore. Even if you set the car to driving custom mode, so you've got like, you know, snow mode and normal mode and sports mode, when you put the pedal to the floor, it just goes vroom, all those settings. They're all predefined, but custom, where you can customize every different part, when you turn the car off, all those settings disappear. And then you need to set them again every single time. Every time you turn the car on and off. Which has led me to a number of times where I have gotten out of the car to, ouch, ankle, to duck into a shop or something. I've just left the car running because it's dead silent. You couldn't tell the car was running or not. But I just don't want to turn the car off and then turn the car back on and have to go through and change all the settings again because it's just annoying. Very, very annoying. Very, very, oh my God, is it fucking annoying that I have to wait for the car to turn on, press the car button on the dash to then it show up to the MG palette, which is what their automated, you know, adaptive cruise control settings and all that sort of crap. And then change tabs again to the actual car tab. And then only then can I turn on one pedal mode. Have I plugged my phone in already that it's going to boot up Android Auto, at which point I need to press a different button to bring up my list of apps on my phone to then press MG to go back to the MG dash interface thingamajiggy-bob on the main info terminal, whatever it's called, to then go through all the same things I said before to turn on one pedal mode. So it's like a fault? No, it's not a fault. It's intentional. It's intentional. There's also a couple of other settings that are intentionally turned on, like lane assist, which is a very nice feature. And the app breaks in 5 minutes. So in 5 minutes, I will definitely have enough time to find, put Fox on the job. Fox, can you find a Wikipedia? Ooh, what? The roof just filled in. Okay. Can you find a Wikipedia page, preferably with all the different speed limit signs for Australia? Because I need that, and I didn't get that done beforehand. Okay. 3 minutes, 4 minutes. What's down the hole? Instead of loving your new car, you absolutely hate it? No, I love the car. It's great. There's a car dealer in the next town over is named Ford and named Chevy and named Toyota for about 10 different brands. There's one in town. It's like the Prestige Group or some name like that. And they literally have like every different model you can think of. Road signs in Australia. That'll probably do. Alright, can I click on that? Whatever's below me sounds very hungry. Oh yeah. All different speed signs. That's what I want. Like Phil Gilbert Toyota in Australia. Whoa! 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 Okay. Okay. I know what's the whole to you. It's your first time run. Yeah, it's my first time run. Okay. Okay. We need to make a venture to the surface. Yeah, folks, that's my attitude exactly. If I have a big problem, I need more of these. Raise the stage resets to get the NCAP rating to 5 stars. As soon as we strip the card turn on, must have a certain settings on and off. Yes. Yes. Spinnaker, that is one of the issues. To get the 5-star rating, they have to have certain settings, which are really, really annoying. Okay? And one pedal mode, I don't understand why I can't save that one. Like, as long as my battery charge is below 90%, which is the minimum, well, the maximum it can be to have one pedal mode turned on, I should be able to. 32 seconds. 32 seconds. About 3,800 worth. No, 3.5. It was 3.5. Actually, funnily enough, the car was as cheap to insure as the red Peugeot, and the Peugeot is 10 years old. One pedal mode is for the EU safety rating. It must be off. I don't understand why one pedal has to be off to get the 5-star rating. Okay, we have King of the Hill in theory right about now, which means it uses the same software. Oh yeah, well actually no, it doesn't use the same software. That's another thing I found out. The Australian software is different to the other countries' software. They all have updates at different times. I was looking in the forums, and Turkey was really happy. They just got the latest update. The one that's not installed on my car. Even though it should be. They just got it. Where everywhere else had it for like 6 months. So no, every country gets localized updates. And that probably has to do with, for the safety systems. Well, I don't know. Because there's 2 bits of software on the car, and I have no idea what they mean. All I can do is tell you what the number is. Yeah. All right, let's get King done. And I'm safe, so I'll go for a bio break too. Great time to go for a break. Good luck. Feel good, Larry. Okay. No idea why Fox is posting fire ratings. All right, well, Fox won. Totally rigged. Totally rigged. And can I open that? Can I go to that one? And I want to open that. And I want to open that. Okay, I have all my bits and pieces. 100% rigged. 100% rigged. Why is Fox posting fire charts? The funny thing is that only has 4 sections, and all the ones I've seen have 5. All right? You can go there. All the ones I've seen don't go moderate, high, extreme, catastrophic. They have one more. Like, one more. Like, you're in shit, boys. Crew.
All right.
Crew. Thank you for the prime. Welcome back for 32 months. There you go. Damn ads. That's your reminder. Evil Fox out always hanging around the stream and triggering my confirmation bias. Yeah, he'll do that for you. All right. Okay, we need to take a minute. Talk about Australian road signs. Okay. This is important for the next part of the rant. Okay. It's a very important subtopic. Okay. Code red is newish. Oh no. I've seen ones with 5. Maybe it's low, moderate, high, extreme, catastrophic. Yeah, I think it's 5 with low here. Okay. So road signs, speed signs, to be more exact. Okay. All right. Australia has 10Ks, 20Ks, 25. I don't think I've ever seen a 25. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 130 is only in the Northern Territory. Okay, it's pretty new, actually. Prior to that, it was like this, no speed. Just go as fast as one. Thought it was a 5. They changed it after really bad fires in Victoria. I think there's 5 as well, but it starts at low and goes to catastrophic. So, we also have we also have these ones. We have different types of the same damn thing. Anyway, okay, very important. We don't have 110, but 120. Yeah, but you're in Germany, okay? You actually spend money on your highways. You spend money on your highways. We do 110, and all
right.
Nathaniel, how you doing? Welcome back for 35 months. Thank you for the prime as well. Thank you for the Bezo Buckaroos. We have 110, and sometimes 110 zones might involve loose gravel on the road. Yep. It's fine. You're in Australia, mate. You probably get bitten by something or stabbed by something well before you have any issues with speed limits and safety. Okay, so I'm going to break this up into a couple of categories, okay? Under 40 kilometers. 110 with kangaroos. Can't forget the wombats. Like, kangaroo might come through the window. Wombat's just going to sit on the road, and you're going to hit it, and it's going to be like hitting a very short brick wall. The front end of whatever hits that wombat is going to stop, and the rest of the car keeps moving. The supplement tombstone with what? The duplicate tombstone for Australian road conditions? Yes. Okay, so anything below 40 is like considered a high pedestrian zone. Okay, very, very high pedestrian zone. Okay. You'll find you find 10s and 20s, like if you're driving along beaches and something, might burn, could burn, probably will burn, hellfire. Yes. Car parks as well. Like any high pedestrian areas, any spots where there is lots and lots of shops along the road. Randomly, pedestrians walk from one side of the road to the other without looking normally. right, is anything below 40, okay? And then you have, we'll call it the 50, 60. 60 is your normal speed limit. Along any normal road, it's normally 60. There are exceptions. If you're in suburbia, it's normally a 50, okay? Just bring it off a little bit, okay? Just a tiny bit, okay? 70, 80, yeah, let's go with 70, 80. 70, 80 is like more main roads, less people, not a highway, actually, intercity highways. Intercity highways are going to be 70 or 80, okay? And very, very main roads where there's no shops, there's no nothing. It's just a main road to get from A to B, okay? Then you have highway freeway speeds, which is going to be like 100, 110, okay? So you have pedestrian area, normal area, main highway area, freeway area, okay? 70, 80 dual lanes. Oh, yeah. It'll be two lanes, 3 lanes wide normally. 110, not guaranteed. You might be a single lane wide at 110. Makes overtaking very interesting. With loose gravel on the road. And blind corners. Very interesting. Welcome to Australia. Okay. So we have our categories of speed, okay? Cruise control turns on at 40. You can turn on cruise control at 40 and have you follow the car ahead of you at 40. If the car ahead of you slows down, your car will also slow down. If your car ahead of you speeds up past 40, you'll speed up to 40, okay? You can also move the cruise control up and down by 1 kilometer at a time or 5 kilometers at a time, whatever you prefer, okay? The cruise control, minimum speed 40, okay? Lane assist. Lane assist is, if you're not paying too much attention and you happen to be wandering out of your lane, okay, the car will, everybody's had a joystick, I assume, being, we're all PC players, or been to an arcade. How's Scorpio? How you doing? Been to an arcade where you've had a steering wheel game or a flight sim or whatever, and you've had that force feedback where you've run into a wall or something, steering wheels go all over the place, okay? Does the same in the real car. So if you're wandering out of your lane, the car's going to beep at you very rudely, and then at the same time, will force you back into your lane, okay? We have a 30 zone, 50 inside settlements, 100 outside settlements, and no limit if not stated otherwise on the motorway. So 30 kilometers or miles? It's a very important distinction. 30 would suck. I couldn't do 30. Okay, I couldn't do 30. 30 would suck so much. Although your streets are going to be much older and much narrower, so maybe I could. We aren't barbarians. We're not barbarians either. We're Australian. Their streets are narrower. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Their streets are going to be narrower and older. Made in an olden time with houses very close either side. Yeah, okay. I could probably understand that. Take a bit. When you come to Australia, you'll find that the roads are very wide, unless you go to Sydney. At which point, yes, they're not wide enough. They were designed to be 2 lanes, and then they're fit 4 lanes in. Don't question it. Just make sure your mirrors are the type that flick back. That, if you've hit something, because that's very important in Sydney. Cobblestone roads. Yeah, cobblestone roads. We don't have cobblestone roads. If we have a cobblestone road, it's going to be modern concrete pavers, and it's going to be probably a 20 zone. Maybe a 40. They were designed for slave cart cobblestone. We can't talk about slaves here, can we? All right, so cruise control, you can turn on at 40. Automatic lane assist, okay? Something that honestly, in many respects, most people should use, okay? Hey, if you had a big Indian population, they would find a way to make it 5 lanes. We do have 15 miles per hour, 25 miles per hour. So that'll be about 40. That'll be about 40. 40 is also cobblestone AU is called gravel. Yes. There are a lot of city streets that still have cobblestone under the tar. That's in Sydney. That's a Sydney thing. Every street here does not have cobblestone anymore. It's all been ripped up. Yeah, school zones are 40. Okay. But in the car, okay, automatic lane assist makes sure that you stay in your fucking lane, okay? Very good for people that are not paying attention on their mobile phone, playing with the infotainment system, putting on makeup, blah, 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 blah. Prisoners with jobs. Exactly. Prisoners with jobs. You can say that. How you doing, Jeremy? So, 60. 60 is like the speed limit more common than not. But to turn on the automatic lane assist, you have to be going faster than 60 to turn on the lane assist. And it turns on automatically after you go over 60. But also, the car has little, camera thingies. And we're going to say AI. I know it's not AI. I know it's optical character recognition, okay? It's optical character recognition, but we're going to call it AI for the simpleness of just this conversation right now. It detects the speed signs for you. So if you're going 61 kilometers per hour, then it will turn on, very conveniently, right, the lane assist, which means if you start wobbling outside your lane, it's going to recenter you in the lane. Very handy, very important, very, very helpful. God, there is a lot of people that could use this in their car. Now, as I was continuing, the normal speed limit around town is 60. So, if you're going 61, on your dash, you have a 60 sign. Okay? It looks exactly like this. It looks like this on your dash. And then your speed is underneath it, and it says 61. And it means this 60 is flashing at you constantly saying you're going too fast. You're over the speed limit. But that's okay, because now you can turn on the automatic lane assist automatically. Yeah. Sydney runs the worst. Suddenly 5 lanes to 3, then back to 6. And depending on the time of day, lanes change direction. Oh, yeah. That's a congestion issue more than anything else. But yes, this is why I hate driving in Sydney. I absolutely refuse to drive in Sydney. If we go to Sydney, Sassy's driving. I'm not dealing with it. Okay, I would prefer to catch a train, stop outside Sydney somewhere, drive a car, stop outside Sydney somewhere, and get in a train and use public transport from that point on. I just don't want to deal with Sydney traffic. You're over the speed limit by 1 kilometer. You're a very naughty driver. Exactly. The car's reminding me I'm a very naughty driver. The car also has like a max speed limit thing that you turn on, and then you can't go faster than that speed whatsoever. The problem is, to get to that, you got to use the infotainment system, and you got to change many, many, many settings in many sub-menus, and then use buttons on the steering wheel to then set what the maximum speed limit is. So it's something you would never, ever, ever use, because it's so hard to get to. Okay? Like, maybe if you're driving your personal car around, like, a loading area for shipping containers. Right. Luck in the EU, the speedo is downrated by 4 kilometers at a minimum. Mine's not. Mine's spot on. But you're right. Most speedos in Australia are downrated by about 5Ks. So you can go over by 5Ks and still technically be at the speed limit. It's very, very common. Which is also very annoying when you're driving down the highway and you're doing 115, knowing that you're doing 110, and everybody else, even though the speed limit is 110, they're doing 100. Minus 5. In my car, I use the current speed for limit on cruise control. I can turn on cruise control. I can turn on cruise control at 40. But I can also say, hey, I want to go no faster than this set speed limit. And I can set that to 25. And it doesn't matter how hard I put the pedal to the floor, it won't go to past 25. I can't. Null out. Null out. But that is buried in a sub menu of a sub menu. And then I still have to set the speed. Also reads signs, reduce the speed. Mine doesn't. If I set it to 110 and the speed changes to 80, which it does on the highway, randomly, talk to the Sydney drivers, yes, it keeps going 110. Is something active when you're lending the kid a car? Don't you dare go over 110. I don't, the new one. The new one I'll set to 110 because I know it's 110. Mike, legal has to be 4 kilometers down radius so you cannot contest the radar. Mine is, according to GPS, it is spot on. If I'm doing 110, it's rating 110. Does not look like you're digging anything here. No, we're about to dig things. There's a scary thing under here. but we're talking about cars, okay? We're having our rant, okay? So, the adaptive cruise control, I can turn on at 40. The lane assist only turns on automatically at 60. And also, a part of that E-cap, blah, blah, 5-star rating, it turns on all the time. Okay. Are you still playing or just yapping about signs like a tool? No, I'm having a rant. Did you not read the title? It's digging a hole and having a rant. Salt to dark mode. Where the hell's dark mode? Much fun on the motorway for driving with 130 and you drive by a sign. This is meant for an off-ramp. The car is slowing down to 50. The truck behind you is getting close. Oh. Off to the side. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. I didn't see. So, speed sign things. Great. I have the same problem. School zones. So school zones are, depending on the school zone, they start anywhere from 7:30 all the way through to 8:30, and they end at 9:30, 40 zone. And also in the afternoons, they start at 2:30, and then they end at 4:30 or 4. Again, depending on the school, depending on the zone. And the hours of the school might be exactly identical, but for some reason, whatever part of the roads and motor department decide to put in 2 different times for 2 different school zones really makes awesome drive to and from schools or near schools. Anyway, so I have the same problem. Because the car sees a 40 sign, even though it's outside school hours, it's still a 60 zone or an 80 zone. The car then flashes and complains at me constantly that I'm now going way over the speed limit because it thinks it's a 40 zone, even though we're outside school hours, so the 40 zone's not active, it's still an 80 zone. Yeah. I've seen the cops in America pull people over for road rules stay in Australia. Our highway patrol isn't the best, but you're likely to get arrested. You are more likely to get arrested than get shot. You're unlikely to get arrested or shot. Yeah, that's true. Highway patrol doesn't do a great job of patrolling the highways. They do a great job of when you see somebody beating along at 150 in a 100 zone, they're generally going to get a ticket. What my grandson is when Robo hooks up temporary signs to slow down traffic, and they were done weeks ago or weeks away from starting. We have that too. We still have that. And roadworks. Okay. Roadworks is normally 20 kilometers below whatever the current speed limit is. So if we're in a normal 60 zone, roadworks sign will go up. It'll be 40. If you're in an 80 zone, roadworks will go up. It'll now be a 60 zone. If you're at 100 or 110 zone and roadworks go up, it'll now be an 80 zone. And they take the same precautions no matter what, even though cars could be going past them at one roadworks at 40 kilometers an hour, and at a completely different roadworks, they could be going past at twice the speed. Just reasons. When going 100 and 150 zone, instant loss of license more than 50. I think it's more than 40 over the limit. Russian Dutch cams are the best. They are. Just get sucked into the YouTube shorts. Yeah. Okay, so now lane assist, I have to say is a very great thing. Okay, I really think more people could use it. I also think it should be turning on at 40. It still sounds very mad. Okay, can we press that? R for dynamite. Okay. Ow. What? What? Okay, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just gonna hide back here. Which way's out? That way's out. Just duck it. Duke it? Duke it? Punch the radioactive mole rate. Run, Jetty. Run, Jetty. They found that total number of unarmed people shot by law enforcement was like 10 to 15. Consider the population rate of encounters. That's super low. In the US or in Australia? YouTube Shorts just shows America being crazy? Yes. In the US. Okay, I've heard more than 10 or 15 people that were shot in the US last year being unarmed. Dodge and run past it. You moves faster than I do. People shot by police should be 0. Correct. What's the? I'm sure it's not that high. I just found YouTube not wanting to give ID or being tools towards cops. Then there are the cops on power trips as well. Glad it's not as bad here. Oh no, we still have cops on power trips, and I've been a person that doesn't want to give a cop my ID. Per encounter because cops in the US random people over to meet quotas. I've been randomly pulled over to meet a quota. I'm sure of it. But then again, like we have random random breath tests all over the place. Where they'll just block off a lane of a main road, and every damn car or every second damn car gets pulled over to blow into a machine to find out how drunk you are. And they used to ask, when was the last time you drank? Which was great, because I used to say, 3 years ago. They don't even bother asking you anymore. Alright, so the lane assist mode. I really think it should be on every car, and I really think it should be turned on at 40. I don't understand why it needs to be turned on at 60. But it has some problems. AU is legal for a cop to request ID at any point. Yeah. You have to drive through pie and booze shops. We do have drive-through pie and booze shops. We do. This is 100% true. Oh, you're coming this way. And you can buy cigarettes at a drive-through booze shop. Also have drive-through ATMs. The drive-through pie shops are not worth mentioning. This is true. Car fumes and pies don't mix well. Almost 50 million people reported contact with police in 2022, about 1 in 7 people. Is that in Australia or the US? Stop chasing. 50 million people, about 2x the Australian population. True. True. Wait, this is not the way I want to go. This is the way I want to go. Well, that's my teleporter. I go as far as pressing T for teleporter. Okay. Alright. Treasure in the backyard and giant moles. Why are there giant radioactive moles in my backyard? I think it'd be better off at this point just digging out all the platinum and calling it a day. Okay. I don't believe you have dug this hole. I have definitely dug this hole. Most jurisdictions, they cannot require you to do a redstone DIO test or breathalyzer, but here they can. Give ID, move on, stay with redstone breath test, just do them. You should have nothing to hide. Doing the right thing if you're drunk, get off the road. Yeah, we can also have roadside drug tests now. Where they put a strip to your forehead, which will then detect blah blah drugs in your system. Okay, anyway. They're not in your backyard that far down. AU, you only own 5 minutes down? Alright, alright. You'll find your answer at the right end of the tunnel. I bet I will. Alright, so, lane assist. Very important. Really think every car should use it. Every car should have it. Also, think that every driver in Australia definitely needs it because the amount of people wobble in and out of their lane is ridiculous, especially in places like Sydney. But then again, there are places in Sydney where the lanes don't make any sense at the best of times. But then again, it also pisses me off. Do I have the mining rants? Of course I have the mining rants. Colin First style. Nope. Definitely nope. So a little wobble is cool. Yeah. Oh no, you can drive faster than 30 in Sydney. At least some parts of Sydney. But they're going to do these things, or they can take the station and do them there. Oh yeah, that's true here. You either have to. Actually, I think with a roadside breath test, you can refuse, and then they can drag you out of the car. Well, ask you to leave the car, and then you can sit on the side of the road for 30 minutes. And then do the breathalyzer test. And then it's not official till they take you to the police station and take your blood, at which point they can do a blood test, and that confirms what your blood alcohol was. Alright, I'm just gonna go for it. Hope this is the right way. Okay. Well, this looks far too easy. I got an achievement. Find the treasure. Nice. Nice. Oh. Okay. Well, look, as I had the value of like 4 houses from digging out the backyard, I could call that okay. That not okay. Mimic was a great movie. And this is the intro to the game for those of us joining us late. It's not your treasure because it's deeper than 5 meters. That was a lot of tally marks. It's a house for sale sign that we saw that made us buy the house. Old York. P3L68Y9 and a picture of a radioactive bulb. For starting a new game, you can now hunt achievements displayed in your garage. Continue. I don't really want to start a new game. Okay. You had the money rants. Of course I had the money rants. Rights for 100 years ago and things changed in regards to IDs. I don't see an issue with testing an ID with police. Yep. I don't see an issue either. I'm happy to give over my ID anytime the police ask me. Anytime I'm driving a vehicle. Anytime I'm driving a vehicle and the police ask. If I'm on the side of the road walking, yeah, different story. I want to know why you want my ID before I hand it over. Just to curiosity's sake. And if you're going to be rude, I'm probably going to make your life and my life difficult. Alright, so. I made a fortune. I dug a hole. I found giant moles at the bottom. I found no treasure. I feel slightly ripped off. Slightly. Ouch. Actually, can I go... Okay, where's the up? There's the up. Okay. I'm sure you're not under somebody else's house either. I'm not. I go straight down. See? Sunlight on the top. And artifacts. Ignore the artifacts. Okay. I want to keep that there. But then all of this we're going to remove. Whilst I keep ranting. That we're going to end the stream. So, the traffic assist. Really think it's a great idea, but I do ask some very important questions. If the lane assist is so good at making sure people stay in the right damn part of the lane, are we going to end up like currently every single time you drive on the road? Every single time you drive on the road, there is the obvious wear patterns. The obvious wear patterns from people driving, you know, in the middle of the lane, and you get those little two wear patterns on the, you know, from where their tires are running down the highway, the freeway, the roads, whatever. If we're going to get AI lane assist, which is going to keep people in the middle of the lane, like computer perfect middle of the lane, those like wear patterns is a mix of a few things. One of them is that machine. So one of them is tire rubber, obviously. Ouch, ankles. One of them's tire rubber. The other one is a mix of just like wear, actually physically wearing down the road. So are we going to end up in a situation where, because this is now, we have AI lane assist and AI is spot on and always keeps you dead in the middle of the lane, are we going to end up with like that part of the road wearing out faster? Are people going to have to add a give or take 5% to the middle of the lane to the computers to make sure they don't overwear one part of the road? These are the important questions I have. What? Auto police was 98. Of course, most people say I drove slower than their grandmother. My house is mine shafts underneath it, kind of scary with large openings in your backyard or on the road. Don't think you're a mole, run in the opposite direction and report your detection. Yes. Tell you're in Australia. Last time I was checked by the police must have been 20 years ago. I don't know, 5 years maybe. Also, not every car is equally wide. No, that's true. I guess that's true as well. Wear on Ontario Road is so much less than trucks. Yeah, trucks do a good job of wearing out the road too. But there's a lot of cars, like a lot of cars. And like you'll see it in residential roads as well. What am I standing on? Well, it was not my ankles. Definitely not my ankles. and cheap, so I don't think I care anymore. We should dig out as much as we can. I get your laws and protections. Personally, as I mentioned, I don't understand them. Why would there be an issue in most encounters? But also respect your right, have a different view and laws in the country. My two main cars were from 16 to 28 Chevrolet Sprint and then a Suzuki Swift. Has it been found that where the tires are, the road is a tiny bit higher due to the rubber left by tires? It's a tiny bit higher due to the rubber left by tires. It's also gets worn out. So it's got more tire rubber, but also the surface of the actual road gets worn away as well. So it's less road and more rubber. That sounds very grumpy when I do this. Yeah, I don't care. All this stuff's worth nothing. Oh, and more compaction, that too. It's also more compacted. That's true. Okay. Oh, that's the other thing. So now I can have, not only does the car have cruise control, where it will follow the car in front and keep a set distance, I can change the distance on the steering wheel, but also, just as importantly, and you've probably seen and heard of videos where Teslas have done this, if the car in front of me suddenly brakes unexpectedly, my car will also suddenly brake unexpectedly, whether I have a choice or not. Yeah, great safety feature. There's a catch. A fairly big catch. My battery's low. That's the catch. As from the reach camera, still enforced by them too. Yeah. Yeah. Come back here, phone. Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll hit save. Okay. So, the car brakes suddenly because it doesn't want to crash in the car in front. Cool. Nice feature. Awesome to have. But also, when the next generation, so I'm talking like iPad Child, when she starts driving cars, they're going to have this sort of stuff built in. Does that mean she doesn't learn how to emergency brake when a cat runs across the road? Because she's never had to do it? Because she's never had a truck suddenly slam on their brakes in front of her? And if it has happened, car's taking care of it rather than her take care of it. It's not compaction on Monterey. It's mostly been eliminated. I was involved in building the North Cox and found out too much about roads. Oh, did you? Okay. Yeah, but that's probably a more modern road than a lot of the ones that I see around town. So, like, are we gonna have less accidents because, you know, car helps you drive, but then are we gonna have worse drivers because car helps you drive? Like, is this gonna be a thing? Am I gonna have to teach my kids how to drive in a shitty car and wait for them to kill their first shitty car before I'm like, okay, now you can have one with AI that'll make you safer because you've been through the hard yards? Just like my kids know what a VHS tape is, when most of their friends don't even know what a CD is. They know about DVDs, but have no idea what a CD is. Less accidents and people can't drive older cars. So many things the newer generation will learn, like how to use rotary phones. Don't mind know how that. What TV commercials are. Might know about that. And reading books. Oh, no. iPad Child goes through. She goes through books fast enough that Sassy complains. She complains about how many books she's reading. I'm like, why? She's reading a book. I don't care if I have to buy a new book every week. I don't have to buy a new book every week, but I really don't care. She's reading. Let her go. Books are not that expensive. Buy her another book. AI is garbage. Well, look, the car doesn't have AI, let's be honest. It has some pre-made algorithms to know where the two, well, it has recognition of the two lines on the road. And if the lines do anything funny, which they do sometimes, the thing just brakes instantly. Okay, so It has recognition of white lines against black road. Okay, that's not too hard. And then can work out where the center point is of the two lines, the two white lines on the black road. Okay, not too hard. And then can make sure the camera is in the middle of the two white lines on the black road. It's not really AI. Let's not kid ourselves. There's no intelligence there. There's really no intelligence there at all. Done. Street library org. What's that's the online library, isn't it? Oh, street libraries. Yeah, we know about those. Sassy's mum, stepmom has one of those. But also, the books you find in street libraries are not really what a teenage girl wants to read. Just saying. Just saying. She wants to read the latest book that's gone viral on TikTok. I flew under the fence. Okay. Yeah, I know about street libraries. I actually haven't seen one anywhere near me. Okay. Back to the holes. Plenty of stories, but my navigation told me people going off the road way too fast slow. Yeah, I heard. What was it? Somebody in the US was suing because they were using Google Maps, and Google Maps told them to take a bridge that was out and had been out for years, and the husband died, so the wife is suing. And I'm like, why did the husband drive over a bridge that didn't exist? Like, hello? Oh, there's no bridge there, but Google told me to go this way. I'm gonna go this way. I trust Google. Yeah, I don't trust Google for shit. I type in searches and I get the wrong answer often. I trust Google as far as I can throw it. Back when TomToms were new? No. This was last year. Last year I heard about this one. It was on the Philip DeFranco show. Alright, so I'm definitely worried about AI and my kids driving and how bad it's going to be. I'm also worried about we'll go with 5 years, 10 years. When EVs get even cheaper, even more common, I'm worried about what happens to the last of the gas cars. Like, do you end up with a situation, okay, so my Falcon had gas, compressed gas, okay? It was dual fuel, it took LPG, liquid petroleum gas, whatever it was, okay? And that shit used to be in every service station in Australia. Like, every one of them would have this stuff. Because it came out, it was brand new, it was way more efficient, way cheaper, blah, 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 blah. Great. Every car started coming out. Some of them came out were dedicated. They just ran on LPG, okay? Didn't run on real fuel at all. But I bought mine. And then I realized that a lot of service stations don't carry this stuff anymore. And then during the 2 years I had this thing, I noticed more and more service stations don't have it at all anymore. They've stopped selling it. So filling up the LPG tank actually became a bit of a hassle, apart from the servo next door happened to have LPG, which was sort of a lifesaver. But what happens? They can't learn, just don't give them smartphones until they're 12. Well, mine already have smartphones. But they were about 12 when they got them. So I will give them that much. I'll give myself that much. But what happens to the last of the petrol cars? Like, are you going to end up in a situation where you need to drive halfway across town to get to a real gas station to buy real gas? To go in your real car, so to speak? And then what happens to the very, very last? Like, are you going to have to call somebody up, right, and get them to get a jerry can and go to that one service station still in town that has real petrol and fill up like 10 jerry cans, and they have to do this in their EV to then drive their EV to your place so you can fill up your car. So they could still call 911 and use Wi-Fi, but not let them use it for other stuff. You have to buy a very, very bad smartphone, but then not have access to other stuff. The older boy has a very, very bad smartphone, and it can do limited things, but it's very limited because of how bad it is. So that's to cheaped out. I don't cheap out when it comes to mobile phones because they're just horrible. And then I have to do something and I get frustrated because it takes 5 minutes for the damn thing to turn on and then change screens and that pass. It's a hobbyist thing. You reckon at that stage it's a hobbyist thing? So you have to, no, it's the poor thing. Get pasture barrels, deliver it to the house. That's probably how it's going to be. Doesn't every Aussie automatically fill up like 10 jerry cans at a gas station with how long your trips are? No, God no. God no. Petrol stations are just that common that you'll find them everywhere. Like here, along the freeway, going to Sydney, okay? Once I get to the freeway, there is one gas station halfway, okay? Just one. But prior to the freeway, I'm going to pass a gas station every 20 minutes, 10 minutes, less than. Like, I have a servo next door, okay? It's literally next door to my house. The next closest one is 5 blocks away. There's another servo. Actually, there's 2 servos. They're on both sides of the road. All right. The next one closest to there is probably 10 blocks away. Like blocks. You could walk to the next servo in 20 minutes from this servo. Okay? They're everywhere. Last special for 50 kilometers? No. Last special for 100 maybe? 100 maybe? But like, even when I drove to Port Macquarie, along the freeway, the whole way, it's a 300 and something kilometer trip, 400 kilometer trip. I had to drive on the freeway past 3 servos. So one every 100 kilometers. Easy. Light doesn't work quite the way I would think it would. Yeah, light doesn't quite work the way I think it would. I fell. Oh, it's blown up already. Never mind. My bad. Okay. What's the kilometer? Any American? It is 1.6 miles is 1 kilometer. No. 1 mile is 1.6 kilometers. I have 3 servers in a row, no house or anything in the middle, same side, independent Ampol and 7-Eleven. Yeah, I know that feeling too. 1,000 yards. Yeah, a little bit over 1,000 yards. A tiny bit over. The yard's only 90 centimeters. But yeah, I'm going to want to... So, it's going to be the poor people that can't afford to buy a new car, okay? Those that are struggling the most are going to be the ones that are going to end up with the last of the petrol cars, okay? Because they're buying a second-hand car, and it has to be, like, cheapest denominator situation. And I'm curious what happens. Like, do they have to call up their friend who has an EV once a week and say, hey, can you take me to the gas station and let me fill up my 20 jerry cans? And it's halfway across town, and I can't really afford to drive my car there to get fuel, because by the time I get fuel and drive my car back home, I've used half the fuel in the tank. Like, what is the story for those people? Or is there going to be, you're going to call up an EV truck service that's going to drive to your house, which has like a giant tanker. It's going to be a tanker that runs on EV. It's an EV tanker that drives to your house and then lets you fill up your car from a mobile gas station. Yeah. Collector will have the last gas cars. Electric is the ideal solution there. It is, but look, okay, we can all agree that governments do a great job of doing anything for the poorest, anything at all. If you're not sure, check out the US government. Yep. Do you really think there's going to be massive subsidies for the last of the last? Those that can barely afford a car in modern times, let alone need to buy even a second-hand EV, which is going to have no subsidies whatsoever. There's that new ICE cars and then stop rego on ICE vehicles in like 50 years. I have no idea. I imagine Australia has some sort of plan. Is it a good plan? I have no idea. Solution is good public transport. Ha 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 ha. You said good and public and transport, and you had all three words attached to one another. That's a dumb idea. Actually, yeah. Actually, yeah, for good public transport. Like, good public transport is a great wish for every person. But, like, I've had child to catch a bus being the best mode of public transport for where she's going. To go to college, it's 3 buses and an hour for a 15-minute drive. Why? Why? Why does it take it 3 buses and an hour for a 15-minute drive? EVs are also never fully be until you have a 2,000 kilometer range in a sedan. Double idea seems to work in Europe. Yeah, Europe, the population's a lot more dense, so it could probably work fine in Europe, but it really doesn't work here. I'm in a city. I'm not in a town. I'm not in some middle of nowhere back-ass town. I'm in a city, but still has the same problem. Just an hour to use public transport for a 15-minute drive. Lob. Perfect. Not enough population AU. Well, it's not true. You look at Sydney and it's pretty dense. Like, I believe Sydney has decent public transport. But then again, also suffers the same problems, that it's a ridiculously long public transport ride for something that, in theory, would be a 20-minute car ride, except congestion. Turns into 3 hours. 3 buses an hour for a 15-minute drive. Cycling infrastructure, maybe. Yeah, it's too late to add cycling infrastructure to that. You try living in Death Valley? Oh, yeah. Look. There are a lot of places in Oz like that. Yeah, look, there is definitely going to be... EVs will have to have a bigger range in Australia, 100%. I don't think you're going to need 2,000 kilometers. I think maybe 1,000 kilometers would probably get you there. At which point you'll see signs on the road like last charge for 500 kilometers, last charge for 1,000 kilometers. Once the 2 buses an hour for what was maybe a 15-minute cycle. Well, what people driving in Sydney, Brisbane every day? No. Look, Outback Australia. You're gonna need massive range. Massive range. Petrol stations just convert to charging stations. They will, 100%. But I'm definitely worried about, the last people that swap across. Okay, those that can't afford a new car and have to buy a second-hand car, right? And then it's whatever's cheapest. Right? I've been in that situation where I had to buy whatever was cheapest. Right? Whatever I could afford, which was not a lot. So I just bought something. And, it got me across and it did the job, but, reliability was a whole different question entirely. Actually, I had one with a starter motor stuck. So, in the passenger footwell, there was a... what was it? It was a 3x2. It was a sticker 3x2. And when the car wouldn't start, you'd have to pop the bonnet and take the 3x2 and smash it into the starter motor. And that would be just enough to rock it. So the coils would line up, and then the starter motor would turn. And then it might work fine for a week. Or it might stop the next time you stop the car. Real signs in Australia. Last shot for 1,000 kilometers. Warning, remote zone ahead. Another bore essentials. Got water, got food, snacks, gas, first aid, camping needs. Yeah. Yeah, these actually exist. So you'll need to have cars that can do 1,000. It's not too late for cycling infrastructure everywhere. Take one lane and make a protected cycling lane. Cities all over doing it. Look at active towns. King, I like the idea. I also know how slow government infrastructure works. The only thing about the only thing driving that road apart from tourists and massive trucks, which already can do like 2,000 kilometers, you're gonna have locals that live somewhere, and they need to traverse it to, I don't know, hospital, this, that, light. So from here, it definitely looks bright. What am I standing on? That. Come here. Okay. And then I get down here and it's definitely a whole lot darker. Although I have torches. So, you know. And drive it 8 hours every day? Not every day, but they'll have to drive it semi-regularly. What is this game? A game about digging a hole. Can you not see my beautiful hole? My wonderful hole? It was a game about digging a hole and having a rant. And I've done part of the ranting. Also found out this giant mold at the bottom. You can't hold back 99% of the population because there are a few locals in the outback. No, I was just saying, for a complete takeover, right? In the case of the sign Fox posted, right, that would be an EV charging station at both sides. It would also have gas. It would definitely have good old-fashioned petrol. It would have diesel. It'll have unleaded. It'll have all the different types. Because it's the only petrol station anywhere around. Okay? But for those that live in Sydney or in Brisbane or in Melbourne, and they're those that are struggling the most, like living on the poverty line, when they're buying a new to them car in 5 or 10 years, and EVs have taken over, but they're still more expensive than a petrol car, and they buy a petrol car and they get a lucky one that runs for 5 or 10 years, they can't afford to replace it, what do? They run King of the Hill. That's what they do. That server from memory also has fuel for choppers. Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me. Gas for the generator that you drag along for backup for your EV? Possibly. All government thinking is always, as long as nothing bad happens on my watch, people don't want it, people want it, they just don't listen. Yeah. Fuel stations will, I don't think fuel stations will disappear in the next 20 years. They might not disappear, but they're going to become far less common. And I actually think they're going to pretty much disappear in the next 20 years. I honestly think they will. Lions. Spoken about 55 months. Diggy diggy hole, diggy diggy hole. I'm a dwarf. Diggy diggy hole, diggy 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 hole. How you doing, Lions? Fashion was a much bigger problem. Jammer, I think they'll become automated unmanned in the next 10 years. Actually, funny you say that. Funny you say that. Crew! Crew, congratulations. You are the king. You have an avatar. You've made Fox happy. You've also used poop as a weapon. That's not very kind. Not very kind at all. Nobody likes you throwing around poop, especially your own. Or anybody else's poop for that matter. Let's just cover all our bases. Where do you specify, what? Where do you need to specify 1929 because the 29 depression won't be specific enough? Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. So JMO said that he thinks most service stations will still exist in 20 years. I don't think most service stations, well, most will get converted to EV charging stations. I don't think most will get converted. I think a lot will shut down. An awful lot of them are going to shut down over the next 20 years, 10 years even. Some of them will convert. I believe that 100%, but I also think a number of them are going to shut down. It's not worth it anymore. And people are going to do a much better job of charging at home rather than having to go to a fuel station. Go to the gas station to get stuff. All right. I also think that with them shutting down, he mentioned, Elon says EV taxis will replace buses in the next few years. Elon says all sorts of things. The Cybertruck is just 2 years away. 6 months away. Bulletproof glass. Oh, the window is not all the way wound up, so it's not really bulletproof. It was just a small minor fault, because we hadn't wound the window up all the way. And therefore, you know, it broke. Oops. Crap, I wanted those. JMO also said that gas stations will become automated. And funnily enough, I went to a station the other day, which is pretty much automated. You could pull up, you could fill up your car, and then you can press on the computer which pump you went to, and just pay the ATM machine. Swipe your card and you're good to go. It's not a thing in Australia. You can fill up your card and then pay for it at the counter, or not pay for it at the counter. And they have cameras, they'll take your rego number, and in theory the cops will visit you. But I've spoken to lots of people that work at servos, and the cops never do shit. Like, they have your rego, they can work out where you live, they can show up at your house and say, you filled up your car at this petrol station on this date at this time, and you didn't pay for the fuel. Nothing happens. Ever. Ever. They can't be bothered. Too low on the list. Way too low on the list. Yep. You're saying Ampol, BP, etc. slowly charge stations next to the fuel. I have not filled up my car. I went to local shops. Local shops has free EV charging, right? Just 2 spots. So I went and charged my car there once. I went to a different shopping setup, which is meant to have EV charging with Tesla chargers. Had to install the Tesla app to find out where the damn things were, just for the Tesla app to tell me that my closest EV charger was in South Africa. So glad it took me. I had to install the Tesla app, then I had to make an account. To make an account, you have to do that through a web page, not through the app. It doesn't work through the app. It has to go through a web page. So then I had to make an account via the web page. Then making the account, after giving it my mobile number and my email, I have to get a verification code sent to my email to then punch into this web page So they actually know they have a legitimate email address. I don't know why they need a legitimate email address. To then, finally, after making an account, it doesn't log me in. No, you don't get auto logged in. You need to then, after you have all those details, then type in your username and your password that you just made to then get logged in via the same damn webpage to then finally, you can use the app. By the same token, if I say log in as guests, it at least told me about the other EV charging station at the other shopping center, but still wouldn't tell me anything about the shopping center I was parked at. Okay. What? Who? What? In the UK? Oh. Card in first, the pump, and then you get to fill up with petrol? No. Here you get to fill up first. Musk didn't pay other people. They paid him $50 billion a year from Tesla last year. The question is, are you ready for the next Great Depression? It's happening again. Well, we're not going to get into that. But they only decide the Great Depression after it's happened. He bought Tesla, he didn't found Tesla? Pretty sure. Did he found Tesla? Costco petrol station's the best, self-service, and pay at the pump. We have a Costco. Sassy became a member and then never went to Costco. Great. She took friends to Costco because they were not members. But she never went to Costco herself. Such a pointless membership. Told her that when she signed up. And have never bought petrol there. Ever. Have looked it up. Have seen that it's cheaper. Have never bought petrol there. Ever. It's pay first, then fill up. Yeah, but Costco I know is full self-serve. So you have to put in your card, select how much you want to put in the car, and then you get charged. And then you're allowed that much petrol. Which is painful if you want to fill the car. Yeah. It reminds he bought companies and acts like he made them. He founded with somebody else PayPal and cashed out from PayPal and had much PayPal money. Much PayPal. Oh, Tesla was not Musk. Okay. Okay, well there you go. He bought Tesla. Okay. Oh, I haven't saved. Sure. Only company he bought was Twitter. Everyone's talking about the reason I went in an electric car. Second reason, I can't afford it. Cars just went up by 50%, both electric and gas. Electric is only at least at this point. Electric was the same here. It was 100% the same here. But then it all started because on holidays, right, Sassy killed my car that I bought 2 years ago to go on holidays. So she killed it because it was dead. Couldn't take it away on holidays because the rego ran out just before holidays started because it was bought just before holidays 2 years prior. So had to borrow my mother's car. Whilst there, her father came up. He owns a Tesla. Teslas are bloody expensive, like 90 grand or something. So I was mentioning him, you know, because I heard ads about the BYD brand, which is a China brand. And they were reasonably cheap. And now I wasn't renovating a bathroom and a laundry. I was just doing a bathroom. It was, you know, I had some money. So I asked him the price of Tesla, and he's like, blah, 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 blah. And I said to him, I heard about the BYDs, and I looked up, and they were like 45-ish. And then he mentioned the MG at 35. And I'm like, wow, that's different. So it was the right price at the right time. Oh, okay, yeah. PayPal was originally incorporated by other people, but then Musk bought it. Okay, yeah, all right, fine. Musk bought it with somebody else and made it successful. The Boring Company. He owns 100% of that, yes. He also owns 100% of SpaceX. May can have the same batteries as Tesla. Yeah, I know that. I know that. It's probably why they're so bloody expensive. Because Tesla batteries. Alright. Yeah, the MG was just the right price at the right time. Okay, so last of the gas cars. All right, battery quote and NBN. We need to do two more. I might finish the stream early. So, battery quote. I was meant to have a battery quote on Monday. This is the battery for the house to go with the solar. Okay, there was a couple of catches. First off, they were meant to arrive at 4. They gave me a call at 2:30 and confirmed I'd be home by 3:30. And I'm like, yeah, I should be home by 3:30. Then I had to go out and do a school run. So I was not home at 3:30. I was home at 3:36. The guy showed up at 3:30. Punctual. I like that. Very punctual. Spoke to Sassy. Sassy was trying to do something else at the time. But when he first showed up, he was like, knocked at the front door and was very rude with like, can I come in? It's hot out here. She's like, sure. I got the air conditioner running, by all means. Okay? And then wanted to see the power bill. SpaceX does amazing work in spite of him. Same philosophy as Bill Gates. You don't have to be smart, you just have to hire smart people. That's why Microsoft did so well. Gates hired the right people. Gates, I don't believe, has anything special. He just hired the right people. So, guy shows up. Okay. He really wants to see the power bill. Like, really wants to see the power bill. And Sassy's like, I don't have the power bill. I can't access the power bill. Joel can. Right. So, then he gets shitty that I'm not there and she can't access the power bill. So she can't have any sort of conversation with him whatsoever. So then he informs her that, well, if Joel's not here, I'm going to leave then. He's been at the house for 3 minutes. Okay? It's now 3:33. He doesn't suggest, maybe we should call Joel and find out where he is. Because Sassy said that I'm off on a school run. I should be home any minute. No, doesn't want to call me. I'm not there. Doesn't have a power bill. Can't do anything. So, oh, and by the way, he's got my number because they confirmed with me an hour beforehand. You clear the top off, then you have more light down at the bottom, but I have nothing to land on. And I have lots of lights. I can just put down more lights. Lights are not expensive. Not at this point, anyway. You just really want me... Gates knew how to steal Apple's ideas? Well, Apple stole them first, so, you know. He doesn't get any credit for that. No point batteries is power is used at the wrong times. Spinnaker? That's my choice, isn't it? That's actually not why he wanted to see the power bill. So, he leaves at 3:33. I show up at 3:36, expecting this guy to be here. He's not here. He's left. He's left pissed off. He's left with a, oh, I'll just have to reschedule the time to see Joel. Oh, that works. It's still on the oars. Okay. Assuming it's going to calculate your return on investment. Oh, that would be a very good assumption. Very good assumption. You'd be wrong, but it'd be a very good assumption. So, I end up calling the number that had called me an hour ago at like 3:40, let's say. Let's say it's 3:40. I've had a chance to talk to Sassy, find out what the deal is, find out he's already left. I have no way of directly contacting the sales guy. Alright, so I called the main phone line for the chick who organised the original call out, blah, 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 and say, yeah, he's left. I was 3 minutes down the road at the time he left. He couldn't be bothered waiting. He just bailed. So, I get promised that he's gonna go see the next person and then come back and see me. Then get a call an hour later. He's not coming to see me. He's still stuck at who knows where. Which is good, because I really didn't want to see him after he'd been that rude to Sassy. And then Yeah, cool. Later, somebody else is going to come out the very next day. This time, they're going to be at 4 o'clock, which was the original time that they were meant to come out. And new guy comes out the next day. So we're now not a Monday appointment, it's now a Tuesday appointment. Guy comes out at 4 o'clock on time to come see me. And the first thing he wants to see is my power bill. I'm like, I don't really have a power bill accessible right now. But what I do have is I do have my solar, which has a reading of how much power I'm making and at what time by the hour and by the month and by the week and by any time of the year. And it gives me how much power I'm using at those different times and how much power I'm consuming. Using at those times and how much power I'm making at those times. Way more helpful than a power bill, which just gives you, what was your power usage for the last 3 months and how much solar did you put back on the grid in the last 3 months. Not telling you whether it was a sunny day or a dark day or whether you're using lots of power during the day or anything helpful like that. Way more information out of this app. He's not happy. He wants to see a power bill. Okay. Pop a power bill. He gets to look at the power bill. He's somewhat happy that he got to see a power bill. It's the latest power bill. He then wants to look at a winter bill rather than a summer bill. Okay, understandable. And looks at, trying to load up a winter bill. Can't get a winter bill to work at all because, I don't know, the app sucks. Actually, no, it was the webpage. Was doing it through the webpage because I don't have the app installed through the electricity company because I don't need the app installed just to see my bill that I'm not going to pay any attention to anyway because it's automatically paid. It's just auto paid. I don't need to install another app on my phone. I don't need 5,000 apps on my phone. He really wanted me to install the app. I told him no. Okay. So, he's somewhat content with seeing a power bill. Seeing with the cost I'm paying for electricity per kilowatt. And also, really happy with... And then I have to teach him... I have to teach him what a megawatt is. Because he doesn't understand what a megawatt is. Because our bills are listed in thousands of kilowatts. For some stupid reason. Yeah. Not megawatts. EVs are slightly cheaper around, including fuel saving up to 70%, maintenance of around 40%. Lifetime costs are lower, but I get initial costs can be a block 100%. Did you add the 50k starting price for 30,000 gallons gas? Finding a station, increased insurance, replacing the battery cost and time. They actually don't help the environment. That's not the story. LT King, mine was 35k compared to 50. Well, 35k compared to a petrol, which is probably about 40. So it was a little bit cheaper than a petrol. The battery is good for 10 years. Most petrol cars probably last for about 15. And have way higher maintenance. He doesn't want to know what a megawatt is. That's a warning flag. Oh, it is 100% a warning flag. All right, but we'll continue. So, doesn't understand what a megawatt is. I have to teach him that a megawatt is 1,000 kilowatts. Okay, this is the battery sales guy who also they sell solar as well. Okay, they're all in on these wonderful things that have government rebates. Okay, also informs me that at some stage in the future, they're going to start charging you if you put solar power back onto the grid at set times, which has been a thing in Victoria for like 2 years. Because Victoria had way too much solar infrastructure, and it started overloading the grid during certain hours, and they were in a position where they had to potentially turn off the gas power stations during set hours, which was a little bit difficult because they don't really turn off very well and they take a little while to turn back on. So, do you have Chinese brands there? Battery at 10 years still should be at 80%? Yeah, they should be. Yes, we do. We have some Chinese brands here. I don't know which ones. When it comes to cars, I know where the fuel goes. I know where the blinker fluid goes. I know where the water goes. I know where the oil goes. That's it. I don't need to know anything else. When it makes a funny sound, take it to a mechanic. They know stuff. The cow salesman doesn't know what spark plug is. That was told. Cow salesman doesn't know what a spark plug is. That was told to buy blinker fluid last week. Yeah, I know where the blinker fluid goes. BYD is the big Chinese one. LDV, and there's one more. Okay, I've never heard of. The only reason I heard of BYD is because they're running ads on the radio all the time. Which, to sell a car, is like the best way of doing it. Because you're driving around in a car, listen to the radio, listen to car ads. It's a no-brainer. There are all these little rocks that can kill me on the way down. So, blinker fluid is very, very, very impossible. No, it's very important. It's very important. They suppress the prices for everything because the Chinese government has their own companies for just about everything. Over here, they won't allow imports as much because we protect the CEO who donates to the politicians. Rewan, how's it going? It's going well. We finished digging the hole. We found there were giant moles at the bottom and no treasure. I was ripped off of my $10,000 house. But I have found $40,000 worth of treasure in the backyard. So it's probably going all right. Silent Wolf, thank you for hitting the button. 50! Thank you for 5 decimal years, sir. How the hell are you doing? That's a long time. So battery quote guy shows up. Doesn't know what a megawatt is. Just knows about kilowatts. Not happy with the solar readouts from the meter box and the solar, which gives him an hour by hour, week by week, month by month totals. I need to sell that. Okay. And then asked me where the solar placement is. The current solar. I explained to him it's on the garage, right? He's like, oh, well, should we put more on the roof? I'm like, I want a battery quote. I don't want a solar quote. I want a battery quote. Because I already have solar, so therefore there's no rebates left for me to get. So I really want a battery quote. And then he keeps telling me about the power company Amber. Amber is a newer power company that lets you buy power at wholesale rates. Well, it's wholesale rates plus their cut on top. Which, if everyone remembers last stream, Andrew was mentioning as well. They have free power times, so you can get free power during set hours, which is when solar is a lot. There's a lot of solar. In fact, there are some times where you're lucky enough you can actually get paid to use power. Very, very handy, but also requires you to be home between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. to actually consume said power. Also, on the flip side, there are some times when the peak might get so bad, they're going to pay over $1.30, $1.50 per kilowatt you use. So, yeah, a bit of a catch. My power bill has a flat rate of 30 cents. He doesn't even mention it when he's looking at the power bill. It's only when I bring it up that I don't want to swap to Amber because of, the catches that it might get suddenly very expensive. Cool. Why rocks turn to dirt? I don't know. And even at their lowest price, their medium price is still more expensive than the 30 cents I'm paying. And then he asked me, why was I paying that? How does he get onto that? Blah, 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 blah. And I explained to him about the deal that the company has if you get behind your bills. And every power company has this. And I know this because I've worked for a power company for a while doing sales. That if you get behind your power bills by any amount, really, but preferably like a quarter. So whatever your quarter bill is, if you're 1 quarter behind in paying your bill, then rather than disconnecting you go on a power payment plan, and then they give you a cheaper rate, which is like half the market rate, and it's a flat rate rather than a peak off-peak rate. So you just paid one flat rate for power rather than a peak off-peak shoulder rate, and my power is 30 cents. Whereas normally, I think the off-peak is 30 cents. Yeah, off-peak is 30 cents, which is like the middle of the night. During the day, it's even higher, like 40-ish. During peak times, it's like 80 cents for most power companies. And I'm sitting pretty paying 30 cents. But he wants me to swap over to this Amber company. Why? Because they get a commission for when people sign up with Amber. And, you know, that's what he really wants. He wants me to do that at the same time and go on a probably much more expensive plan than what I'm currently on. And yeah, pass. Off-peak is 0.06. Not here, it's not. Not here. I've never seen 0.06. Not for many years. But also power company, well, the price you pay for power in Australia depends on what part of the grid you're on. And also what state you're in. That's the other catch. And also the power plant I'm on, you can't look up because it's not available publicly. Even though the government said, hey, we need to see all your power plans in a pretty webpage publicly so anybody can, you know, compare. Yeah, my power plan's not there. It's a special one for when you're behind in your bills. Anyway, like I said, I'm on a super cheap plan. I don't want to change. He really wanted me to change. He brought it up like 3 times, even though there is no way it would end up being cheaper than what I'm paying currently. No fucking way. Yes. With Power Shop and Energy Australia, Newcastle, New South Wales. Okay. I don't have off-peak anyway. I don't have off-peak hot water. That type of off-peak. Type of media is like 20 cents for peak. Oh, okay. Okay. That is cheap. Okay. Maybe I need to relook. Alright, so. Yeah. Number 1. Tried to convince me to swap to Amber. And then convinced me to charge my EV between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. Which I can't do because we're not going to be home between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. every day. No guarantees. Then tried to sell me solar for the house because I already have it on the shed. And I said, no, I don't want solar on the house. The piles are broken and leak. There's no sucking under the roof. So I definitely do not want solar on my roof because that's just going to lead to many problems that I don't want to deal with. But I want to talk about batteries because that's why you were asked to come out. Finally. Goes and looks at where the solar is, goes and looks at where a possible place to put the battery is, which he wants to put it beside the meter box, which is on the house. I'm like, no, I don't want it beside the house. I want it beside where the solar is, beside where the solar inverter is. Oh, we can't do that because we need to plug cables into the meter box so the battery knows how much power you're using, so the battery knows when to turn on and turn off to then discharge the battery. I'm like, yes, the solar has the same. It's, what are they called? CT clamps. No, CT clamps? Current clamps. They're current clamps that go onto the mains line and also onto the solar line to then detect how much power is being flowing through the power line to then be able to give you the feedback that I have on my solar app and also do things like turning the battery on and off to make sure the battery's outputting power. So, therefore, you're not using your power from the grid. I'm like, yeah, there's already data lines running from there to there. Just use the same data lines. They run a Cat5 cable. I think they've used 2 pairs. So there should be 2 pairs left. You need one for the solar, which is like right here. So you don't need to run them anywhere. And then you need one for the main, which means you just use one of the pairs and run them up via the same cable. And it's already going to come out the same spot. So like all the work's done for you. All you need to do is plug into the wire. It's not that hard. He has no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. And then the whole time he's been looking at batteries and looking at battery locations, he's been on the phone to his boss, who is the actual person doing the quote. The sales guy is like just doing the introduction and finding out if you're interested in the quoting process, and then gets on the phone and actually gets all the details, and then he's the one that does the actual quote part. And then I get given the phone to the boss so I can explain everything to the boss because the sales guy is useless. Yeah, having large saltwater fish tanks power is very important to me. Cost me lots running them with the coral and heated water. Oh yeah, it would. It would. It would cost you an awful lot. Saltwater? No, freshwater is more expensive, right? Freshwater requires heated. From memory. I don't know. I looked at getting the fish tanks to fish and then found how expensive it was. I'm like, no, I'm going to stick to computers. It's cheaper. Can you send me a smart guy, not a sales guy? Probably not. I'm willing to bet the boss that I was talking to doesn't even live local. I'm willing to bet he lives in Sydney or something and then subcontracts this out to a local company. It's what happened when the government offered solar rebates. They would just have, you'd end up with somebody in Sydney or Melbourne or wherever, and they just do hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of quotes every day. And they wouldn't even be good quotes. They'd just be, we'll do as many quotes as possible, all right? And we'll overcharge by a little bit. That way, if we get something wrong, it's probably buffered into the price somehow. And we'll probably make a profit no matter what. And it worked really, really well. We just turned around and said, thanks but no thanks, and probably fund the company. Did you use solar in the first place? The company did my solar in the first place. I was really happy with at the time. They did a really great job, but Did I break my ankle on one of these bits? Yeah, that really hurt. But when they installed my solar, they forgot to plug in one of the panels. And they installed it in November. I alerted to them to this, like, I don't know, 3 weeks later, when I booted up the app and saw that one panel was producing 0 power and had done for the last 3 weeks. It then took them 3 months to come out and plug in one fucking panel. Much less happy with them. And as it is, the company that sold me or came out to quote was literally, they were cold calling random numbers and they just happened to catch me when I was looking for a battery. So that's how they came out. But he finally got to the point where he was giving me brochures on the different power boxes, power batteries, and so on and so forth. And the brochure was very pretty, very glossy, as all brochures are, and then it has a 5. Which way's home? That way. Has a 5 megawatt battery, and then a 10 megawatt battery, and then a 15, and then a 20. Okay, turns out a 10 is just 2 5s stacked on top of one another. A 15 is 3 5s stacked on top of one another. 20 is 4 5s stacked on top of one another. Okay, rocket science here. But the brochure, at the same time, is the model number, okay, for the 5. But then under that has the exact same model number with the exact same specs between that 5 kilowatt battery and the exact same 5 megawatt battery. And the specs are virtually identical. I'm going through line by line, and then I ask him, because I assume he would have had this question before, as he's been selling these for a while, what's the difference between the model number on the top of the page and the model number on the bottom of the page? And he picked up the piece of paper and looked at it like he'd seen it for the first time and started doing exactly what I was doing and going through line by line what was the difference between the first model and the second model, top of the page versus the bottom of the page, and then had to take a photo of it and send it to the boss to ask the boss what the hell was the difference between the top one and the bottom one. And during the whole time he's doing this, he's holding the piece of paper. He won't pull out a separate brochure that he can look at, so I can look at the brochure that I was looking at to start with, because I expect this to be a 5-second question. After the boss gets back to him 10 minutes later, because he's obviously on the phone to another consultant who's making another quote and another sale, he finally tells me, the boss tells me, or the boss tells him, who then tells me, the difference is the weight, because they have 2 different manufacturers of the internal batteries that go in them. And he tries to tell me all about the batteries and how they're, blah, 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 blah. The same batteries you find in every EV and every Tesla and everything. They're the same damn batteries. They're big, fat AA. But anyway, he tells me that they have 2 different suppliers, and depending on which supplier it comes from, depends on which model it is, which is the same damn model number, which is why there's a difference in the weight by like 2 kilos per 5 kilowatts. But that part there took 20 minutes to find out. Yeah. 3 months, damn, that's some superb service. It was great. I was so happy about it. On top of that, one of the things they sold me on was they have remote monitoring of my solar system. So in theory, they'll get an alert if something's not right. And then they can contact me if they get this alert that says things are not right. And yeah, they didn't bother contacting me. I had to contact them about the solar to say it's not right. Yeah, super happy. One thing they did do is, rather than you having a normal on the app or on the web interface, actually not on the app, the app doesn't do it, but on the web interface, there is a site. There's a site owner, there's a site manager, and then there's a like an admin. I wanted the site manager access, which is not something they normally do. And I asked them, and they said, I don't know if we can do this. And I'm like, well, according to the manual that I've read back to back, you can, and this is how you do it. So I'd really like that. If you can do that, then sure, I'm happy to sign up. And lo and behold, they're like, okay, turns out we can. Sure, we'll do that. So yeah, my solar, I have admin, site manager access to, so I can see a lot of the back end stuff, which is, I don't know, not been handy, but I prefer to have it rather than not have it. Let's put it that way. So yes, salt water is the most expensive due to the lights of the coral. Hard to replicate sunlight and keep the water at 26, 27. Heat and cooling. Costs go about 4K a year in power. Wow. Because you read your manual, even they didn't read that. No, they didn't read that. God no. God no. This is what I was going to say. Like, you'd be surprised what's in a fucking manual. Oh, I'm out of lights. Manuals are really important to read sometimes. Okay? You just gotta read the fucking manual. It's not that hard. You know, finding the manual for the installer buried on the webpage is actually really hard because it's not meant to be accessible by the public. But it exists. And I found it and I read it because I want to know what sort of access they had. And turns out they have a lot of access. But I can have some access. Nah, nobody needs to read the fucking manual. It's not important at all. You just guess your way through it and hope for the best. Yeah. Oh. You would think Engineer and Store would have read the manuals. Well, it was the manual for the software. And no, I don't think the engineer would have read the manual because, like, literally solar is plug and play. It's really hard to fuck it up. Okay, the only reason I didn't install it on my own damn house is one, I didn't want to, and two, I have a fear of heights. So I'm climbing on a roof. I am so not climbing on a roof. And not climbing on a roof in Australian summer for hours. A tin roof at that. A silver tin roof that is going to reflect sunlight. I'm going to get burnt on the underneath of my neck. No, pass. That's a bad idea. Bad idea. I'm paying somebody else to do that. This is why they require 4 years experience in software that exists for 2 years now. Yeah, 100%. If you read the manual, you get 1 year worth of experience right off the bat. From reading the fucking manual. Yeah. No, solar is really plug and play. Alright. All the cables are male and female, like you cannot screw it up. It is very hard to screw it up. It's like building a computer. Building a computer is very, very hard to screw up as well. People manage to do it, and it's 9 times out of 10 because, like, oh yeah, that definitely goes in there. Oh, it doesn't fit. Here, I'll push it harder. Okay, congratulations. You pushed it hard enough that you bent the pins, and you made the square pin go in the round hole. Congratulations. You put 12 volts where 6 volt was meant to be, and now it doesn't work. Funny about that. Yeah. So yes, battery guy sucked. Absolutely sucked. Finally got the quote through. For a 10 kilowatt battery, it was $13,000. And I haven't looked up that model of battery for a retail price from a wholesaler, but I have looked up other batteries, and it's, let's put it this way, I get changed from 10K plus shipping. There's going to be one hell of a shipping cost, but because they're heavy. But for most 10K batteries, you're going to get change from 10K for paying retail prices. Well, retail prices from the wholesaler. So lowest price to start with, and then retail. Yeah. Since you read all the end user license used in a month, you've been reading for 3 months, 16 hours a day. Yeah, that's assuming the end user license changes. I don't read. Oh no, it's not Tesla. Oh God, no. God, no, it's not Tesla. No, it's some brand I've never heard of. No, I got 13 grand quote for a Tesla. No, this is some brand I've never, ever heard of. I also got a quote for Alpha ESS. Was the other quote. And that was... that's a brand that at least my mother has on her place. So I'm somewhat familiar with the software and the battery. And that was more. It was like 14,000 something. And they're cheap. They have a cheap ass battery. But somehow it was more expensive. Because I'm pretty sure this company, as I said, just shoots out quotes left, right, and center, seeing which ones stick, and at the same time makes commission off swapping people over to the whatever the company was. Alpha Energy? No, not Alpha Energy. Whatever. BYD and off-brand Chinese should be... BYD sells home batteries, do they? Wow. Wow. Amber, that's it. Amber. Yeah. That was what it was. Amber. Yeah, they're gonna make commission on Amber. An Amber commission, if they get somebody to sign up for Amber, and assuming there's like a 12-month commitment, which I don't know if they can legally do anymore because that all got changed. 12-month commitment, Amber would give them about $400 in kickbacks. How you doing, Scorpio? Price has gone down a lot in the last 6 months. Yeah, there was a government rebate added in November to New South Wales. This is why I wanted to have all the prices. I want to have the quotes done just prior to November, because that's when they would have been cheapest. Because then the rebates would have kicked in. Nobody would have upped their prices yet, and I would have said yes to a quote I got done last month, and said, "Yep, I'll have that battery at that price." With the new rebates taken out of it, obviously. So it would have saved me another, I don't know how much. BYD and Tesla, same battery packs. BYD are cheaper due to software. Yeah. Okay, so I need to look at BYD batteries for the house. But yes, it turns out in winter, everything I make in solar, I pretty much consume. It's like, oh, you know, these battery packs don't like being fully discharged. They discharge for months on end. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not planning on keeping them discharged for months on end. By the same token, I could charge them up at night, couldn't I? And then discharge them if I wanted to, right? I could have them just maintain 20% charge for 3 months. Yep, okay. Salt batteries are a thing there? No, not to my knowledge. Go back light. Not to my knowledge. Maybe at a commercial scale. I've only heard of salt batteries at a commercial scale. I haven't heard of them at a home scale. Charge at night and use it at high peak. I have a flat rate for power. I'm off to bed, but two things. Oh, she's home. She's home. It's 11 p.m. She's home. And if you sent me a message, I haven't read it. You can get molten soap for homes. Oh, okay. Oh, we should look at that instead. One, there are cats on the veranda. Yep, that's not surprising. Not surprising at all. Okay, so battery, haven't got a quote on yet. Need to get a quote, need to get an actual quote. And that is almost the end of my rants. I can't get them off tonight. Yeah, it's been hot. I like the veranda. It's cooler. There's doors and fresh air and there are things that move outside like birds. They're amazing. So that's the cats. I hope the cone cat has its cone back on. Alright. Rants. All right, we're definitely gonna be finishing this stream early. Okay, where is? I lost my web pages. I had Fox's picture. Oh, well, there you go. Sassy's car is due for registry on Tuesday, so she has to get a pink slip on Monday. Good luck, have fun. A molten salt need a replacement, some parts 10 years, and need a clean cycle that takes them offline for 1 hour once a week. Okay. The cone cat has its cone back on. All right, so back to Fox. A last shot for 1,000 kilometers, but this whole rant started long time ago, a whole week ago now, with me complaining about my back. The good news is I went back to the chiro because I'm going there every week, which sucks because it's chewing a big chunk of time out of my day. But then again, I have to go to bed once a day because my back is killing me. That won't be hard, but your funding is needed. Oh, okay. So she's jumping on chat to ask me for money because it's harder for me to say no. We'll have to talk about that later, dear. Okay, so for me registering her car and paying for the insurance for her car. Cool. All right. Because I bought a new car, so I don't have to pay for her car anymore. All right. Which was my car, but then she killed my car. So then my new car, not the MG, but not the Falcon, because she killed the Falcon. So I bought a new car, the red one, which then I've now bought myself a new car, like not new to me, but brand new. And therefore, the red car that's in her name is now her car. It's still your car, Jenny. Please don't make me come down there. ... Sounds the same as my wife after divorce. We're not married. We can't get divorced. All right. So, actually, I should do this one first so I can see what comes up. Okay, cool. Let's do that one first. All right, cool. So, last stop for 1,000 kilometers. Yep, welcome to Australia, mate. My back, my poor sore back. So, I had x-rays already, but they didn't have the measurements on them. Still needs more money. Will you share what size solar system you have installed and how much it costs? I paid $7,000, and it's a 15 panels times 330 watts with not a 5 kilowatt inverter, but a 6 kilowatt inverter. Ouch, your back. Oh, Thunder's seen an x-ray like this before. Okay. You know how, okay? You know how people say that when you take a photo, it adds 10 pounds. When you take an x-ray, it adds 50. I have to say this. Okay? X-rays add like 50 pounds. All right. So, someone get a garbage can? What do you mean a garbage can? All right. So, we have some important measurements. Okay? We have the measurement between the spine and the little bits that stick out the back of the spine. Whatever they're called. Doesn't matter. 17, 12, 13. Fine. Fine. The distance between the spines. HCB Solar. Funnily enough, my mother got solar from them. How could it add weight? You're all bones. Because see the light stuff? The light stuff is not bone. All right. So, 12.5 millimeters between one vertebrae and the next. That's fine. 12.9. That's fine. 12.91. That's fine. 9 is not fine. 6 is not fine. Not fine at all. Really not fine at all. Okay? So, my lower vertebrae does not have enough gap between it. Now, in this circle is where all the nerves are also between the vertebrae. You want a winch page? Do you have my x-rays? No, I don't. No, I don't, dear. That's you. I won't share your x-rays unless you're here and you can talk about them at the same time. Okay? She was damage caused by the wife. Oh. My x-ray, yeah, I'm not, Sassy, I'm not disagreeing. If you want to come down here, we can talk about your x-rays. Okay? I'm happy to talk about your x-rays, but you got to come down here. Then we can talk about them. Okay? We can talk about exactly how bad they were. Be thankful he doesn't have to have a full lumber puncher. No, I can't have a mistake message. What? Okay. Those are bad and nasty. They are bad and nasty. So these circles here, I won't be able to today, exhausted. Okay. These circles here is where the nerves and between the vertebrae is where the nerves leave the spinal cord, come out and go to other places. Sassy rant stream next Saturday? Maybe, we'll see. All right. So that's where the nerves come out. So in December, we're going for best guess, okay? I had a cramp in my leg that didn't go away for 3 days, okay? Which then caused I had a cramp in my leg, didn't go away for 3 days, which then caused me to lay in bed and do nothing but lay in bed because I basically couldn't move. Finally got a massage, which got the cramps moving out of my leg. And then during my holidays and everything else, they moved from my right leg to my left leg because my left leg was obviously compensating for the lack of movement in my right leg. Turns out it was probably all caused by my back, okay? Because these nerves coming out here, they're being pinched. Like, all the time. Massage. It was done in my lounge room with Sassy in the other room. It was definitely a massage. I have 5 failed epidurals with back scoliosis, where it is. Probably next week, and I'll talk more if she comes down. So, I basically have these nerves being pinched all the time. Because they're being pinched, I did have in my legs all sorts of weird feelings. Like, I would feel like my leg had a compound fracture, was bent backward. Even though I could look at my foot, and it's definitely not bent backward. And I have random pins and needles and all sorts of things, okay? After Christmas, where you might remember mid-Christmas, there were just not videos for a couple of days, and then I was playing catch-up. And then went away over, that was mid-December. Then I went away over Christmas, so December 20-something through 26th, 27th, whatever, through to mid-January is when I got back, and then I got COVID, and the list went on. Okay, finally saw a chiropractor in late January, early February, whenever it was. Okay, got the x-rays, found out that all the problem is from these are being compressed. Now, this is the side view. The back view tells you that my hips are straight, my spine has a twist in it, 10 degrees, but more importantly, and I don't have the other x-ray. Damn, I don't have the other x-ray. More importantly, these going straight down have a torque in them. So where is this? Can we do this? I cancer 12, 2.5 years of treatment. This year 25 when I was told I had it. You still look fat. X-rays don't hide anything. Thanks. Has anything ever gone right for you? Generally it has. I've hit 40 and this is the first time I've ever had back problems. Okay. So this part here is twisted. So it's actually rotated here at the bottom. So this is what's causing all my problems. Her back's way worse. Way worse. Way worse. But she was born with that. All right. This is something I've got over years. So the 10.8 degrees is nothing too bad. Okay, that's a slight curve. That's fine. That actually wouldn't cause me any problems. My problem is this line, which should go down. Rubber. Can I get red pen? Red pen. This, which should be dead straight, and this that should also be dead straight. At this point, it's like over here. It's just twisted. He met a nice girl who does listen most of the time, has a lovely family of cats and dogs. She doesn't listen most of the time. She listens sometimes. Well, sometimes, right? Sometimes she listens. She definitely does not listen to these rants. Definitely does not listen to these rants. But she knows about the problem because she came to the Cairo all the time. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. So yes, this is twisted. This is less twisted. Okay, that's a very bad drawing. This is why I don't do art on stream. This is less twisted. This is less twisted. And this is almost straight, as is this. So I actually have a twist in my spinal cord. Keep it up. If I keep it up long enough, she'll come down and say hello. I'll get slapped, but she'll come down and say hello. Just punch him over a garbage can. Sorry, my mother-in-law passed October due to type 2 cancer. It just sucks for everybody. Yeah. Yeah, that does suck. Why would you listen to a 4-hour-a-week rant when you have it for the whole rest of the week? She hasn't been here. She's been at work. She's been at work. And in fairness, this is like 3 months of built-up rants. Okay? There's been a lot of things to rant about, and I've saved them all. But yeah, Thunder, I'm glad to hear it's in remission. I'm glad you're doing better. Kids, maybe one day. If all else fails, ask Sassy. We probably have a spare cat we can get rid of. Or 4. Or 7. The dog can stay. He's pretty well behaved. The cats, we can definitely get rid of a few of them. So yes, that's the story about my back. It's twisted. It's both got a lean in it, and it's also got a twist. The twist is what the twist is what's actually causing most of my problems, which is causing this compression. Results reception and got them to send us. Back then, I know when I had x-rays as a kid, they didn't really give me a printout of x-rays. Yeah, they probably gave them to parents because you're a child. One and only one was the plan to try and rally home. Can't help you found a bond with him. Get rid of the cats. Get rid of the cats. Just like one or two of them. One or two of them. This will solve all JD's problems. I have a feeling I can't open this.
1, 2.
No,
They're not.
I cannot open that. Cannot watch you watch The Simpsons on stream. Get copyright claims straight away. They just show us to keep their files. Okay, well, I've had copies of X-rays. So yeah, that's the problem with my back. All right, mute on it then. I already know that he gets thrown over the garbage can. Yep. Fine enough, I've been doing that. I also get video copyrighted. But I've been doing that for like 5 years. Turns out my Ford Falcon, the boot was at just the right height. It probably lined up with this point, and I'd lean over the back of the car, and I'd hear the cracks up the vertebrae. So, it might be extra slaps tomorrow night. Well, we're about to talk about tomorrow night's stream. So tomorrow night's stream is going to be back to Next Fest demos. We are gonna go look at. I don't know. What was the one everybody was asking about? It was Starcrafter and Outward Station. There too. So what's gonna happen with my back? I'm gonna keep seeing the chiropractor every week. Have you played Rocket Chop Shop? No, I haven't. Are we there yet? Yeah, we made it to the bottom. X-rays are just computer bits, but no, it's so cheap to give away. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, they emailed us. They emailed us the ones without all the lines on it, and I'm like, that's helpful, but does that mean Jenny's going to become a spineless idiot? Probably not. It probably means my spine will straighten up. I have a stiffer spine. But yes, I gotta keep seeing the chiropractor every week. He expects in probably about a month from now, I'll be back to the stage where I don't have any pain anymore. And that's going to be important because it means I can actually sit at a computer all day. Well, I say sit at a computer all day. I still get up every hour and move around, which is one of the things he says is very good to do. So I already do that. Hence why I'm now make sure we have the breaks in the streams on the hour and when King of the Hill runs, and I actually get up and I move around. But yes. Put a rod in the back. Rod in the back stops this bend in the spine, which is meant to be there. That's meant to be there. It looks exaggerated, but that's actually perfectly normal. End up like me, crawling on the floor to get around. At one point, you'll be fine. Yeah, I don't want to end up like that. Although I wasn't like that at December. When I had the cramp in the leg, I couldn't move. I couldn't get up. I couldn't even get in the car to go and get a massage. We had to have somebody come to the house to massage my leg because I could not move. It was not fun. So that's the point I am with my back. Hopefully in a month I can be back to being able to be at a computer all day and not have to go and lay down for 2 hours because my back's killing me. That's how bad the pain in my back got before I went to the hospital. Yeah, but that's too far. That's too far. Sassy wanted to call an ambulance. I'm like, it's a leg cramp. It's fine. I don't need to go to a hospital for this. I just need it massaged out. And lo and behold, after the massage, it was better. But then I got a cramp in the other leg, which was just as bad because of preferencing the other leg, the good leg. But then, holidays and everything else, everything was better, apart from weird feelings in my legs, which was caused by pinched nerves. So, I have pinched nerves in my legs, pinched nerves in my back, which is then affecting my legs, which is fine. It's getting there. It's probably a month away from being better. What are your plans for Soviet Republic? To edit the current video or to thumbnail the current video. One or the other. I think I need to thumbnail the current video. Which probably means it's not going to be out tonight, but it'll probably be out tomorrow. I've been waiting for weeks. My doctor didn't see anything wrong. He thought it was growing pains. We were 12. So that's sort of, yeah. Anyway, we have, as far as I'm concerned, finished digging a hole as good as I'm going to dig it. I made 50 meters of digging out everything. I've ranted about every topic I can think of, apart from Sassy. I can rant about Sassy. She might come down there and say hello. She also might kill me. But we found the bottom of the hole. We found out there was no treasure down there. There was just giant radioactive moles. And I can now afford 4 new houses. Use your teleporter. Sure. Cool. Done. It was a one-use item. Hence, I didn't use it. Such a useless item. Such a useless item. Cool. I'm going to afford 4 houses with more treasure in the backyard. Yep. True. Blue bars! You You can fit 4 houses in that hole now? Probably. Also, I have explosives. Surprisingly, it didn't do that much damage. At all. Yeah, explosives are definitely not the way to dig a hole. Alright. I'm going to call the stream here. I'm going to end an hour early. Well, 45 minutes early. Also going to end before King of the Hill runs again. Thank you for joining me. Tomorrow night, we'll go back to Next Fest. And in theory, Monday night. Maybe even Tuesday. Yeah. Sunday night schedule stream is already scheduled. YouTube. Where is the button? YouTube details. Redirect. It's under that one. Redirect. Yep, that one. Save. Individual booms. Yeah, not the way. Well, I can't mass boom them. There's no way to mass chain react them all to go off at the same time. Because they're designed for taking out individual rocks, not for, well, digging a 100-meter hole, deep hole. But yes, giant moles are bad and deadly, and don't play with them. See? Hey. It's definitely fast. Nope. Alright, that's it. I'm out. Thanks for joining me. I will see everybody tomorrow night for more Next Fest, more games to look at. If there are any games I should be looking at, I don't know. I do know. DM Fox, he can then tell me. And what was the other one? Have you played Rocket Chop Shop? Nope, I'm going to go dump it into Steam right now. Alright, thank you for joining me. I'll see you next one.